This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, everybody. 7 o'clock Tuesday night. We are coming to you live from Studio C in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for joining us. My name is Clayton McKee. I'm here along with Katie June, Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkins. We round out the cast of the show each and every week, whether you like it or not. Sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't.
We're a regular almond joy.
Yes, sometimes you feel like a nut. Is that? Yeah,
sometimes you just
are. Sometimes you are one. We are here for a 3-hour ride into God knows what. We always have some fun with some thoughtful vulgarity late in the show. We drink a little bit. We have a drinking game, in fact, that comes up at the beginning of hour 2. Katie sometimes has sports. Al has a lot of entertainment things, and I'm sure he'll have a lot to cover this week with so many things going on so many fronts.
It's exhausting.
I know. To be you, I can't even imagine. I'm sure at some point you saw a movie and you rode a bike somewhere.
I rode my bike here.
Yeah.
And I worked a lot, so no movies.
No movies. And of course, Marty and I each have some headlines we're going to talk about, all kinds of different stories. But at first, we always start out with checking up on what everybody is doing. And Katie, my first question, we haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
That's right.
My first question is, how miserably bad have you failed Sober October?
Well,
This would
can
be
I have a sip of your wine?
knowing full good and well.
Let me go ahead and look at a calendar.
Well, it's the 15th, isn't it?
So it started October 1st, naturally, which was Tuesday. So
late Wednesday.
Carry the one, carry the...
How many hours did it make?
on Thursday the 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah, it was at Bunko.
Okay.
So thanks,
All right.
Bunko girls.
All right. Well,
They all convinced me that Sober
I'm pretty
October was
impressed.
totally stupid. And if I'm not pregnant, just drink it in and enjoy.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
Bunko?
It's a dice game I play with. It's like a total middle-aged mom thing
okay.
that I get together.
you're going to get there.
We do it once a month. It's dice. It's all my college girlfriends, and it's fun. And everyone's moms, and so it's a night. We kind of block that first Thursday of every month off to go. We swap
So it
houses.
should be sober later October.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
Well, and then I went to go stay for a week with my folks, and I really thought I could make it through because I had a glass of wine on Thursday. So really, technically, it lasted. My Sober October lasted 2.5 days.
Semantics, my dear, semantics.
So I know Kelly's like, how'd it go? I'm like, well, I had only one glass, and I legitimately had one glass. But then we went on, and then I was good the rest of the weekend. Actually, just kidding. I saw a movie. I'm just watching Al's face because he's like, I saw a movie, had a beer there.
Yeah, there you
Definitely
go.
did that. And then pulled into Colorado to visit my parents on the 7th and immediately had a drink.
girl.
Yeah.
Well, at least
Didn't
you stay
last.
sober for the drive.
Yes.
Well,
Is
that
that true?
that is important. It
Yeah,
really is.
it has been. It was
Got
good.
it.
This is a very low alcohol wine, though, so I feel like
It's skinny girl.
So if you try this again next month, will it be called Remember November?
oh my god, yes.
I don't
Or
Okay.
I can't remember November.
I can't remember
well,
last
we'll know
November.
at the end of the month which
Well,
one
yeah.
it is.
Well, or maybe by the 3rd.
Yeah.
At
Later
noon.
that same minute. Yeah.
Later that same minute.
No judgment.
Oh, it was a good effort.
No. Valiant effort.
Thank you.
though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Out of
I'm
all
just sticking with no judgment. I'm not going as far as to say valiant effort.
right.
Well,
To me, a Valiant is a car. at this
Cheers,
point.
everyone.
Yeah,
Exactly.
cheers. Cheers.
Yeah.
There you
Welcome
Thank
back.
L'chaim, yes.
After a brief respite.
Not much has changed. There's just more lights in the studio
out
than
we all
when
fail
you
at
left.
cheering.
That's all.
well, no.
Yes.
Rich, and then you
Um,
and then
I
you
lost
pulled and then you
interest.
pulled out.
I
Is it
know.
the apocalypse?
It is. It's always good to pull out during the apocalypse.
and I think we should all. You're going to tell us more about that later.
That
I'm
is
sure
so
you are. I
fucking
saw you
funny.
post that. And I'm going to guess because the holiday seasons are really upon us.
By that you mean
Yeah.
The Walking
once you
Dead.
get once you get past my birthday and the beginning of September,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
and then we go through everybody's. I mean, Marnie's is coming too next month.
Jesus' birthday.
Yeah, I've
is
heard of
upon
him.
us.
Yes,
It's one and the same.
I'm going to
Yeah.
guess because it's the holiday season.
Bless you.
We're going to forego any dietary or abstentions from liquor at this point. So it'll be daiquiri December is going to be my guess.
Yes. Provided that, I'm not pregnant.
Well, I don't think we have a lot of
Then-
high hopes for that right now.
Not right at this moment.
Yeah.
No.
But keep your fingers crossed.
I know where my hands are.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been going since March. So if my track record keeps, if we keep going at this rate, it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, I kind of throw the holidays out the window. I'm going to go to the gym.
to see people.
Yeah, exactly.
Social
There's a
activity.
lounge. I
holidays.
heard there's a lounge.
They have
Now
a
that the-
daycare.
Now, I have to say though, now that the weather's nice, Palmer and I, we like to go for walks on the bridle path, and we do that in the mornings. And I do like nice long bike rides on the weekends. So we'll stay physically active. But I mean, I also eat pies, turkeys.
As God intended.
No, don't say
Right.
like you eat whole turkeys.
No,
That
but
sounds
I-
horrible.
Well, turkey for days, right?
I-
After you
right,
cook it, then
right.
you got to take it home and eat
Yes.
it for days.
Mom always is all about the next, a week or so after Thanksgiving.
it's
it's
the
all
best.
about just all the cold turkey sandwiches.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And
Oh,
everything that you can make, like all
Turkey
kinds
jerky.
of stuff. Oh,
Turkey soup.
Yeah,
Turkey
turkey's
soup.
so good.
Oh, I
My mom's
remember you
turkey
you
soup.
took the entire
Oh.
carcass a couple years ago
Fuck
and boiled it
yeah.
all and made a big soup. I remember that. I think I may have been the only one who showed back up to eat, but it doesn't matter.
Don't even care. It's all for me. If you show up and have some, good God bless you for getting there.
Good luck to you for the
God
rest of
bless,
the night.
bless you for climbing over the barricades.
I do have to say, I want to tell you guys about this. Really, I felt like my trip was interesting weather-wise in that I was in the mountains in Durango, and we get there and it was sunny and in the 70s, maybe like the upper 60s, and it was beautiful. And we were playing at the park and like took off the sweater because it was hot, and cut to a day and a half later. Okay, that was on Tuesday. On Thursday morning, we woke up and it was snowing, and it snowed all day long. It was gorgeous, and it was like a totally unexpected snow. And I've been
Unless
up there.
you live in Colorado and it's
But
turning into
Just
winter.
another day.
but not in October, and it was really weird because it was not even like the 10th yet, and there was no snow in town. It was like just on my parents' mountain. It was so bizarre, and there were a couple of. I mean, there was a good foot plus of snow. We made snowmen. We were doing snow angels. I mean, the dogs were jumping down to go to the bathroom like covered in snow.
Did you ever lose Palmer? Because she's kind of
I
small.
did, but she was so excited. She loved it. But it was just really neat. I've never been there. I've always gone up after it started snowing, so I've never been right when it was
first
just
snow.
it was a winter
Beautiful.
wonderland. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like Paul New. I'm probably not Paul Newman that makes those plates. It's Norman Rockwell. Norman Rockwell.
Well, you got there on your own, and that's what's important.
Or Paul Rockwell, his long lost brother.
Yeah.
Or Paul,
Paul Rockwell.
Just
Paul
like
Newman.
Jesus' brother Peter.
Doesn't make up.
Or Paul. What was his name?
or Mary. Because
Yeah.
weren't they a group in the 60s?
Exactly. They're leaving on a jet plane. Either way, fuck you.
Puff the Magic Dragon. Oh.
And maybe that's why.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
And it could be.
next
Yeah.
week, we're going to discuss Courier and Ives and get you through that one. That'll be good. That'll be fun for you.
I can fit
I've
them
been
into a
lost
song.
on there a few times.
Yeah,
so-
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to your Paul Newman
Anyway,
story.
I've done the dirty with Courier and Ives.
And that's Paul Rockefeller.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Anyway.
Rockwell.
It was just very pretty. And then the snow melted and we went back into town and it was fun. It was a really good time. Saw deer, a lot of deer.
A female deer? Ray, a drop of a doe.
Yeah.
She mentioned the sun earlier in the story. If you listened.
I did see her.
I love catching up with Katie June.
Well, you really, it's
a good week. Was that good?
It's Russian roulette with Katie because you never really know what she's going to experience that she doesn't understand.
Good point.
Yeah.
It's a very good point.
Just,
I like it.
That's
going
why
through
you're.
this life.
That's why you're just so damn much fun. I'm glad you
Thanks.
kicked the sobriety because you're a lot more fun when you're boozed up.
I was also, then I felt bad because I'm like, they probably, I was so
You can use that at day 3 of the meetings.
exhausted. I was so exhausted when I was here 2 weeks ago. And I literally said to Kelly, I'm like, well, everyone in the world now thinks I'm the most gigantic sober dud on the earth. But I really was just so flippin' tired. Like I couldn't see straight. So I'm really
and
actually not
usually it's
that
just
much of a
drunk and
drag.
can't see
Well, you can't see straight for
Right.
different
Yeah,
reasons, right?
just
Yeah.
different reasons.
I'm-
Not you per se. I mean, just in general.
And I'm really
Yeah.
just not. I'm not that much of a dud when I'm not like boozing. I was just so. But I told
That's
Kelly,
what
I'm
you'll say
like,
on day 5 of the meetings.
I was a yeah. I
finally
was
realized
so
I'm
tired.
fun.
Yeah. Takes a little juice. Little gin and juice.
Oh,
Welcome myself back.
well,
Yeah,
welcome back to
back.
Studio
Welcome
C,
back.
Katie June. My God,
Welcome back.
we missed
Welcome
you.
back to Marnie
Now,
as well.
Marnie
Thank you.
went off into
Thank
the
you.
mountains here in Arizona.
I sure did.
And you married somebody or
I
something.
married a
Well,
couple
I'll tell
of
you,
people.
you
I
performed
did
a
not get
ceremony.
Polygamy.
married. Correct.
You performed a ceremony.
500.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Continue.
I did. It was absolutely wonderful. We were in Prescott for 2-3 days. Oh my God, the weather was fantastic.
Gorgeous,
So
right?
nice.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and the ceremony was held in it's called the Highland Center, and it's within part of a national forest. So the girls were a little concerned that it was going to be closed.
Yeah.
So thank God it wasn't. It was just
Slim down.
No. Someone else. There's
Park
other
light?
funding. There's
Yeah.
other funding. So because of that, apparently they can't just come in and put the kibosh. So it was amphitheater, and it was right in the middle. I mean, trees just everywhere. And I had told you, without trying to bring it back to that fucking house, but I had told you about how little certain things had jumped out at me,
Yes, yes.
and how maybe I had a little PTSD.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
And now you're in the forest.
Right,
Playing
right.
Snow
We're
White.
Yeah.
in their, now you're in their house.
Exactly. Now I'm in their house.
Right.
And during, that's right.
Bring it,
A moose is loose in the hoose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And at one point, I did not see it, thank goodness. But a monarch butterfly flew over the gals and me as right during the ceremony. And, people are tearing, and it's very this, and Erin was wiping it, and she went, oh, fuck. All she could think was, if that fucking thing lands on her.
She hates butterflies, that's right.
No. Just anything that moves anymore.
Oh.
For me, that I would have been like, what the fuck? And like started hitting it, throwing the iPad. I'd been running through people.
Okay.
I'd have been done. So, thank
Until she met the
goodness.
7 dwarves that we talked about earlier.
Gotcha.
I know all of them. So, but anyway, it was
know all of them.
it was pretty. It was really
I know Grumpy.
quite. Yeah. I met him this morning. But it was
In a
really-
mirror?
Exactly.
How can you describe your
that's
environment?
exactly it.
Wow.
That was exactly
In
my
a
point.
mirror.
Going back a few years.
She meets the bitch she left last night.
So it was fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we left for Minnesota
Oh,
2
that's
days
right.
later.
Yeah.
And we were there all week, and leaves were changing, and it was the first true vacation I've had to Minnesota in probably all the 20 years that I've been here.
Stop it. The first one.
The first true
Well, it
vacation.
seems like most of the times that you've gone back, they've been for it's almost like a working vacation.
Right.
Though you're gone, you've always got something to attend to. If it's
Right.
an ailing grandparent or Seidel, just maintenance
Little things.
all together.
Yeah.
Other things like that.
Yeah, going to get her desserts and chocolate to eat all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's dinner, really, is all she eats. But we went down by Lake Minnetonka and just walked around and saw the lake. Never have done that. Always going. So this was
that's
really
cool.
nice. Yeah, it was
Oh,
real
very
nice.
I did see some pictures you
So
posted,
pretty.
so that it looked like
So
it was
pretty.
good.
Beautiful. Yeah, it was just beautiful. And so that was, saw really good people and just kind of hung out. It was real nice. So
I see.
we were getting ready, revved up 2 weeks for Braun and Brandon
Oh my
ceremony.
gosh, yeah.
God, they're just dropping like flies,
Yeah,
aren't they,
they
everywhere?
really are.
You are
They really are.
such a famous reverend.
I'm the Rev Rai.
Yeah,
That's
you are.
right. That's right.
Maybe you ought to
And-
do our wedding. I mean,
totally-
someday.
Someday. And I would love to.
Yeah, okay.
I would
well,
absolutely love to.
You're on.
Yeah. Jeff Eversole will tell you that at that point we're going to be charging, but we'll talk about that later.
Neither here nor there.
I'm just kidding.
For some reason,
Not
when
at
you
all.
said that, Katie, all I envisioned was something that would be like a modern family wedding where something's going terribly wrong. And
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not that your daughter's an Asian by any means, but I mean, like, between Cam and
But that
Cam
Asian
and-
girl is cute.
Yes. Oh, she and I
funny.
home.
her this
With her
season
to be my daughter.
This season,
Oh,
she's
see,
coming
oddly,
into
I
her
just would
own.
not.
She's
I-
really
I
coming
love
into her
her.
own this season.
I just think she's so
the
funny.
delivery on
Yeah,
her is
she's-
really getting good.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
I
a
would
tiny
agree.
bitch, but
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
definitely like
She's
have her
shy.
as my own.
Right.
Give me a hug. No, I'm good. And she just walks away.
I love it. I'm good.
Oh, she's shy.
she's
And when she
great.
ran
Everybody
into,
hide. She's here.
when she ran into that post and fell down when she went to take off and just ran into
Oh,
that.
it was the best.
Anytime I see anything like that, me, it doesn't matter, running into something, falling down,
It's
just
funny.
done. I'm hysterical.
It's
like
funny
I
shit.
cannot gain
I'm
my
with you.
composure.
Screen doors are a
And
big hit at
falling.
parties.
Hysterical
Real
or
funny.
sliding glass doors.
Oh, yeah, those are painful,
that's
though.
fantastic though.
Yes, it was.
Seeing that, I love that. I had never seen what's the show where people like run and jump off things.
Oh my God,
and they-
Wipeouts?
Wipeout. I had never seen that, and Aaron put that put that on.
Are you like
a year and a half ago.
crying hysterically, laughing?
Big
One
balls.
of those.
I don't want to do the whole fucking thing because I swear I'll die. Because the money that you win doesn't even cover the doctor bills.
Oh my God, no!
To
People
heal
get
you.
like
And you know you have to
they
sign
get
a waiver.
like seriously like necks look like they're breaking, like
Yeah.
serious.
They land all
serious
wrong.
But it's
injury.
funny.
But I
Oh
would
my
like
God.
big balls. I think
Sure.
big balls
It's
look
not
so
me,
much fun.
so it's funny. Oh,
Yeah, watching tractor pull wrecks on TV is fun too, but somebody's losing an eye.
that's not.
But
as
it's not
much
us.
fun.
No,
So we
no,
don't
I
care.
get it. No, right, I
but
understand.
that wipeout is
When
the best.
Anybody walking and falling down, just any kind of falling down, actually.
The
it's
first
just
time I
funny.
saw
It is.
the
Like
first time
I'm
I saw that show,
stupidly-
I was back home. Actually, I think I was with you when we were driving through Missouri coming
Yeah.
back, and we stopped at my cousin's place.
Yeah.
I think he had it on. It was a Japanese show, and it was on
Yeah.
like Spike TV or
Oh.
TNT.
Yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
saw it.
Yes,
That
Yeah.
was called
Love it.
Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
and it's wild.
'Cause that sounds Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that
that's
was
the
Most
thing.
extreme
It's
elimination
like-
challenge.
well,
They lose something in translation.
But the best part about that
it was
Most
so
Extreme
funny.
Elimination
Yes.
Challenge was that it was a Japanese show,
Hysterical.
and they were all speaking Japanese. But then,
oh,
but then they had, when they
Chinese.
would do it
That
on
was Chinese.
Spike,
Whatever.
they would have American broadcasters like talking over for the Japanese people, and it was like crying
like Mystery
funny.
Science Theater.
Oh my
where they-
God.
Oh, that.
Just like saying what they thought they might say. I mean, it was.
Yes.
Miss-
You know what I'm
Yes,
talking about?
I
Most
do.
Extreme Elimination
Yes.
Challenge.
Mystery Science Theater was one of the funniest things that was ever on TV. And I would have to, there was one of the shows I would have to pause. Like, let me just catch my breath.
absorb that one.
Yeah, I just-
There's another joke coming.
I need just a moment.
Could I have just
The
a moment?
gay
please?
robot used to fucking kill me.
I just don't know that.
Use your
It's-
commas, not fuck
it's-
and kill
yeah.
you. That's
Yeah.
use your grammar.
It's the you watch a movie, but you watch it like you're on TV, but you watch it like you're in the back of the theater, so you can see all the seats in front of you. And then there's the
yeah.
movie, and there's two robots and a guy.
I think there were three people or
Yeah, it
three
was-
characters.
I know one was a robot. It was a gay robot, a guy, and I can't remember what the third thing was. And you just saw the back of their heads and listened to their comments as they watched
Oh, right.
horrible B movies. And the movies were so bad that you needed someone to talk over them. But their
Yeah.
comments were
Hysterically
hysterical.
funny.
Oh, that's
Especially if
so
it was a movie
funny.
you just happened to see before.
Sure.
Because they would do like Plan B from or not Plan B, Plan B from Outer Space. Like they would do the Ed Wood movies.
Oh, right. I knew
That's
that.
funny.
The
What's it
Edward part,
called?
I didn't know names.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called Mystery Science Theater,
Yeah,
and they
that's
put out a Mystery Science
Mystery
Science
Science 2000? Something like that.
3,000 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a movie. It was craziness, crazy.
And may I just last thing?
Yeah.
After 10 weeks, Erin is back in her house.
Yay!
Only well, just shy of 2 months.
Got in
3
right.
months.
So 2 weeks ago, right before we left. So yeah, finally back.
And then she went on vacation.
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah.
She's like, I was there for
Well,
2 days.
I
But
would. Well, I would.
It's all good.
But
She's
I would.
happy, feeling good.
I would think after
we're almost done, but she's in.
after that 12-week run, she needed a vacation.
Yeah,
Jesus,
really.
I mean that was a lot to go through.
I
It'd be
needed
fun
a
if she came back to
vacation.
like all of the forest living in her house.
No,
Well, funny for
not
me.
even a little bit. No,
Schadenfreude, kind of funny.
not even chuckling.
I think it's funny that Al thinks that's funny.
I know, right?
Because Al would lose his fucking mind. He's something scurries
yeah.
across the floor as he's watching some horror flick, and he's losing his mind.
As he's sitting on his table.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm ready.
Yeah. No,
I can see all exits.
I'm ready to go. I get it. I
Right.
get it. So anyway, she's back. It's good.
Good. That's good. Ernie's back at her.
Ernie's
home.
Ernie's home.
Back in the
Lovely.
neighborhood.
Yes.
Wherever.
Fabulous.
Now you, Al, you did say is your bell
Is it
sticking?
broken?
I don't know.
There we go.
Oh, well,
It
no.
won't stay up.
Well, here. Trade me.
Clearly, I'm not exciting enough for
it's
it.
pull- pulling out.
Trade me bells. I'll do a little
Alright, get it up.
on the fly repair. Now
It's
you
the
said
apocalypse. It's the
right.
apocalypse.
Pull
you,
out.
You said you. God damn.
Stay down.
You said that you worked a lot.
I did. After leaving you last Tuesday, I decided Mama needed some money, so I kind of sat by the phone and waited for someone to say they were short-staffed at work, and lo and behold, about 6 o'clock, the phone rang, and they're like, "Do you have any desire to work?" I'm like, "I'm having a psychic moment because I can be showered and ready in like 15 minutes."
Oh.
So then it worked, and then I worked this weekend to have all of next weekend off. So I worked,
Right. I remember you said you were
okay,
doing that. I
sure.
remember
I
that.
don't know, 67 hours in like 5 days or something.
And
Absolutely.
insane.
Is that even like a thing that you're allowed
Yeah.
to do?
It's just
He's
horrible.
on. He's on.
It's not like he's never done
Adderall
that
the whole
before.
time.
but
So
it's
yes,
crazy.
yes,
Really? Seriously,
So
Adderall?
I'm
Yeah.
convinced. So I went from 5 days of
I mean, I would have to
Something.
be.
Yeah.
The
5
restaurant
days of
doesn't let you do that.
espressos,
Yeah.
which I really haven't been
They
working much.
frown on it.
Yeah.
Drug use. Yeah.
Well, if it's speed, they're okay. Go ahead. So
More burgers. More burgers.
I'm like, somebody go down to the ED and find us some crack. Somebody's selling it.
Something.
Somebody's packing.
ED. What's ED?
Ed.
I know what ED is, but what? Oh, never
I
mind.
feel like
Yeah.
it is
Educational disability.
Sure.
Sure.
emergency
Department.
department.
Because there's more
Everybody's drugs.
There's more than just
I'm
a
like,
room.
All right.
drug.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
So I had to go from 5 days of quad espressos, which is what I drink when I work, to stay up all night, to just my regular crack level coffee. But I feel like it's been decaf all day long. I'm like, I can't even pick my arms up.
Oh, you need to nap.
Yeah. No, I slept all day. It was a snow day. I went to breakfast
yeah,
yesterday
that's
with some
good.
people from work. We went up to Dick's Hideaway and had the food there is so good. The little mini Richardsons.
Because Richardson's, not so good.
Oh, I love their food.
Not anymore.
Oh, I went there for dinner it's been a couple months.
Oh,
But
I had such a bad lunch experience. And I was sad because I really loved them. I thought it was a cool place. Anyway.
Food yesterday was spectacular.
But Dick's I've had good experience at.
Yeah, same idea.
Yeah.
Different kitchen.
Yeah.
But they are shared with the Rokery, so maybe you got one of the Rokery's bad cooks.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I've only ever drank at the Rokery. I've never eaten their food, so no idea.
I've not heard of that.
I've not heard that one either.
16th Street
We'll
in
have to
Bethany
go there.
Home.
It's really cool.
That's where Richardson's was, but it burned. But remember the little, if you were
Dick's
in the
Hide-
know, you would
yeah.
go to Dick's Hideaway and
Okay.
It's around the corner, but with no sign. You know, it's like one of those for those who
It's-
know.
Okay, right.
It's
Yeah.
a hideaway.
So hideaway.
is.
Oddly.
Is it
then-
hidden?
Yes. So when Richardson's
Away.
burned,
Away there.
so they moved up and joined in the Rokery, and they share a
is the-
kitchen.
where is the
and a
Rokery?
beautiful patio.
The patio's lovely.
Maryland and 16th Street. Is it Maryland or Missouri?
Oh,
and
gotcha.
16th?
Didn't
Maryland.
Christopher's used to be up there?
No, Christopher's is still there, a little bit further
North.
north
Okay.
of where the Rokery and Richardson's. It's right across the street from the Runner's Den right there. It's a Maryland
Okay.
16th. And the Rokery has the coolest bar.
Oh, downstairs in the basement,
Yes,
it's all
like
dark.
a dungeon.
Okay.
It's like there's
A
no
pretty
windows.
dungeon.
Oh, but a very cool dungeon. Yeah, it's all big stones on the walls and
Everybody listening outside of Metro Phoenix doesn't really
Doesn't
fucking
care.
care.
But it's worth a visit. If you come here to visit in the summer,
but
when
we
it's
can
hot,
give a really cool description of a very neat bar in Phoenix.
Yeah.
The bar
And
is
you-
very cool.
yeah, and you go and you're sitting in the basement and just instantly cooler when you walk
Yeah.
down. Even in the middle of summer,
It's
you just
nice.
walk down those stairs.
Instantly cooler.
Life is grand.
Yeah.
So that was it. And then yesterday, after I had breakfast, I told my companions at breakfast that it was a snow day. I was barely going to make it home through the blizzard because I was just going to bed. I was beat up, fucking tired. Because Sunday they did a showing at my house, so not only was it like the last of this,
Oh.
you know,
In the series.
in the series, but I had to get up at 12:30, which is like the middle of the night for me.
Right.
Clean
Oh,
my
that's
house and
horrible.
then go away for a half an hour.
That
And then people have
stinks.
locked me in, so I just walked around the block a couple times, so they were done.
Oh.
So I was like, yeah, because he's like, do you want to do a showing? Is 12:30 okay? I'm like, there is no good time in the daytime. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Can
It's
you
the-
start showing at the middle of the
Start
night?
at 9
it's
at
the middle of the
9
night.
p.m.
Yeah. Ask them if they want to come back at 1 o'clock in the
They
morning.
should
and
see
what
it. They should
say.
see it at night.
Yeah.
It's lovely at
But it was,
night.
but the good thing was and I had another showing today, is I left all the windows, like everything's open, and I have all the windows open, so you get that breeze. So it kind of, and the people on Sunday were like, this house is fantastic. Like all the windows open. I'm like, great, it's not summertime. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really selling Arizona. Like,
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I mean? It's just the
Absolutely.
fact, the fact that I spent all that money on windows and they all open, there's just this glorious breeze that came through on Sunday.
How did it go? I mean, it's like
Well,
the
I don't,
showing
now
went-
I don't even want to sell.
Yeah, because
'Cause
you're
it kind
selling.
of-
You sold yourself on Arizona.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of made my peace with it. Like but the backup unit, the number 2 unit that I always wanted to move into at the Executive Towers, came back on the market.
Okay.
Strangely enough, on Friday night.
Oh.
And the cool thing is, and I don't know, all I know is what I don't care what the rest looks like. The kitchen's kind of awful, but who gives a shit? It's got a stove. It's got a you know what I mean? You can paint.
right.
You can paint or change whatever you want to.
Right.
But the windows, because they face south in the master bedroom onto the patio,
Mm-hmm.
they have completely closing black.
Yeah, that's
or
what I was gonna say,
Dark
facing
wood
south.
shutters.
Oh.
So they shut. So you can open up the whole thing and flood the room with light, or you can
Oh,
just
that's
shut that shit
so
down.
And be in a
Great.
basement all the time.
Oh yeah, and be the Dracula you always were meant to be.
That you've always been.
Yeah, so they dropped the price and they put it back on the market.
Harrison says instantly cooler means 100 degrees instead of the usual
No,
115.
it was only like 75 the other day. It was actually
Yeah, it was
It
beautiful.
was
Oh,
actually
here. But she's saying basement weather.
basement.
But it's really true. And I grew up, my house had a basement, and it would be hot downstairs. But then as soon as you would come around, literally, you'd come and start to walk up the staircase to the main level, and you could just feel the whoosh of the heat. And then I would go, oh, that 90 downstairs feels really
Fantastic.
awesome right now. It's
Yeah.
all perspective.
But they
Absolutely.
also have air conditioning. So when you go down in the basement and there's no light to fight with the
Ooh, it's
yeah,
nice.
it's lovely.
No heat gain.
Gotta
Don't
love
No,
a
they
basement.
actually we were there in June, I think. Doug and I went to I think it was May or June. We went to Richardson's for dinner. Then we went to the basement of the Rookery, and it was hot. But we went down there, and they actually had a fire going, and we didn't mind.
Oh.
Because that's one of the charms. Is, I mean, it really feels like you've like traveled through
I'm
time.
gonna have to go to this place because I have no idea where or what it is.
It's a charmer.
Yes, you should.
Tyler says 61 degrees and 96% humidity here.
Yep.
Oh my.
Sucks to be you.
I grew up
God,
with that
I
shit.
remember
See,
that.
that's why I just love it here. I love the right now, like, and it's
Yes.
cooled down earlier this year than in past years, I think.
A few weeks, it seems.
Yeah, but I will take our hot summer. I've lived it long enough, and I like it, and it's fine for the rest of the year.
I grew up somewhere else. I'm only like 5 years behind you on summers here.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, go ahead and talk to Erin about that, please.
yeah.
And
Tyler.
that- yeah.
So
No,
this is why.
She
This
said
is just
Minnesota. We need to move to Minnesota. We need to
God.
move to Minnesota.
Yeah, spend a winter, dear.
Fucking cold.
Yeah,
It's
spend a
cold as
winter.
shit.
That's
Now,
it.
where did she's from here, isn't she?
In essence, she grew like 6 years or so in Indiana, but otherwise here.
Right.
Oh.
And so
I always say,
going back-
make people's dreams come true. Go
Yeah.
spend a winter in
Like a
Indiana.
full winter.
A full winter.
Yeah, because we were back there for my grandpa's funeral in January,
Mm-hmm.
and it was, let me think, what are the words? Fucking cold.
Well, that's the
Like
word.
ridiculously fucking cold. And it was like -8.
because isn't
to
it
negative
get,
10.
it gets like the
And
coldest in Minneapolis? I feel like.
International Falls, where Tammy's from,
Yeah.
is like the coldest.
But
Crazy,
Indiana,
crazy,
no
crazy.
picnic either.
No,
Because
no,
that's
it's
that
not.
flatland
No.
where God just hates them.
Yeah, a lot.
So the breeze just blows.
Boilermaker, my ass.
Yeah.
But Kelly
It's
tells me what it's like down there, and they built that whole tubes around the city, so you don't actually have to go outside.
Okay, so they're. That's funny.
Is this a
Yeah,
Norman
they're-
Rockwell story?
I
don't know.
right?
No, they do
Paul,
have
Paul,
the tubes.
Paul.
Paul. I know.
Yeah, Paul
I'm saying the right one.
Well, they're not really tubes, but that like
The weird hallways, kind of
crosswalks, but they're enclosed
subways for
Like,
people.
In essence,
Sure.
Sort
they go
of.
building to building.
Yeah.
And at UMD, University of Minnesota at Duluth, which is way up north on Lake Superior, it's beautiful up there, but fucking cold.
Yeah.
So they have underneath, and they
I'm
have where
sensing a
you
theme.
can travel by like a little golf cart to go to your
Yeah,
classes.
they have those underneath Buff State, but people
Brilliant.
get raped down there
Yeah.
all the time. So
Yeah,
not
they have
advised.
really
In, like,
And one of the
cheaper
tunnels
subways?
literally
Yeah.
goes to an abandoned.
Oh.
Because the front of Buffalo State, everyone thinks, oh, what a beautiful building. I think it's called Rockwell Hall or something like that. Oh, look how pretty it is. Oh no, that's the main entrance to the abandoned mental institution that shares the same ground. The hall you're looking for is right behind the mental institution. So the underground tunnels combine all that shit. So back in and they may have cleaned it up now and stopped the rapes, but back in the 80s, you just didn't go down there. It didn't matter how cold it fucking got. Like, brave it.
Yeah.
Stay up
Up top.
Keep
Well,
your genitals to yourself.
I just kind of want her to drive in it, and
Oh yeah,
safe,
because
you know.
she's not experienced that either. Ice and
That
snow
black
and
ice?
black ice shit. No. I'm good for never having to do that again. If I don't have to. I mean, as close as Flagstaff is, I've driven up through that a few times, but yeah, I don't miss back home in Missouri with all that.
And I always tell people, until it's
Pardon
all
me.
charming, it's all pretty, till the snot freezes on your glove.
Not cute.
I've heard him say that before.
That's
Yes.
funny. Yeah.
And if it wasn't a real thing that you encountered every single day, and then you get somewhere warm and the snot starts to melt.
Well,
off your glove.
and I would love to say here, let's go and let's
it's
do
a
this.
real
But for the
snot-
love of God, that driving on that black ice and just that.
It's a real snot melter. It's
Snot
really
melter.
It's a
hard.
real snot melter.
So we'll see. Maybe we'll go back for a year.
Love-
Hayes Hall,
Hayes,
Buffalo,
is that what it is?
University. Hayes Hall.
Not University of Buffalo, Buff State.
You'll figure it out.
Buffalo.
This is it because they're talking about the mental hospital. Anyway, it's cool. I'm reading about it.
Oh yeah. It's a beautiful picture.
She
It
Googled
We're
it.
back
looks-
to Googling.
It looks
Thank you.
enchanting. There you go. And
There
for
she
you,
is.
sir?
It's been a busy weekend, of course. It always is for me. Thursday marked I believe it was well, I think it's just the 2013. I forget what year or when it is.
It is 2013. That was a good guess.
No, I understand. I'm trying to say, was it the 13th annual or was it just for 2013? The National Gay Flag Football League was in town for the Gay Bowl. About like 800 different players from all over the country come together and play here. And I found out that we have actually one of the best setups for this situation because all of the fields are in one complex. Most other cities, they're playing all over the city because there's not a place that has the land. I mean, for example, they can't go to New York and do it because there's nowhere in Manhattan that has all these soccer fields or football fields all together. So they're playing all over the various cities. So here, one host hotel, one place where they all play together. So it's really kind of cool for all of them. I didn't go to any of the games. I didn't go to any of that. But along with Nevaeh and McKenzie, we co-hosted the opening ceremonies on the outdoor patio of the Renaissance Hotel downtown, which really the Renaissance Hotel, and you've just got to give it up for them. They really rolled out the red carpet because...
Is that the Sheridan?
The old Wyndham.
The old Wyndham on 50 West Adams, or East Adams, excuse me.
Okay.
Where Dancing with the Stars was.
It's a Marriott, isn't it? It's a Marriott Renaissance.
Yeah.
But they really rolled out the red carpet from what I was told, well, kind of what I saw, but what I was told from the commissioner and everybody else. Other hotels really couldn't be bothered with them. Like, they're like, well, here's when we're coming, and here's what we need, and here's what we're going to do. And nobody else really cared. So they really kissed their ass.
Oh, good for them.
And the closing
It's good
ceremony.
when you appreciate people spending money.
Right. I mean,
you're a business owner.
You got a whole
Exactly.
hotel of 900 kids. I can't get, they're all younger than me. All these people coming in for a weekend, for 4 or 5 days, they're going to spend money. Well, hell, take that money and run. The cool thing was, and I've never seen this happen for an event like this, the closing ceremonies, when everybody was done, and by the way, give it up to the San Diego Bolts is the team that overall won everything out of their San Diego.
Go
Well
San
done.
Diego.
Several teams from San Diego were here. But they closed off the street from First Avenue to, was it 2nd or 3rd? No, street. I'm sorry, I'm always backwards. Yeah, on the street side. So from Central to 2nd or 3rd, whatever it was, an entire block party closed off the street. The entire party was outside all night. So
Get out of town.
No,
Downtown.
totally was.
Cool.
They-
And the hotel did that.
the hotel did all that.
That's so cool.
That's really nice.
Yeah, well, they've also got a new, I forget his name. I met him. Very, very nice guy. I want to say it's Ron.
Fabulous guy. Can't remember.
New guy. Well, in the midst of everything I was doing, I wasn't trying to read name tags. He is the new marketing and promotions director for the hotel.
Yeah.
And she's family. So he was right in with everything. So he's really going to go for that gay dollar, which is fantastic.
What's actually
Smart.
cool is the Renaissance really tried to get HRC to come to do our gala there, and logistically, just space doesn't work, sadly, because we really would have loved to have gone there.
It needs to be bigger, doesn't it?
It's their ballroom's big. They don't have any pre-function space for the silent auction, and it's kind of some weird logistics that way. But they really did the same for us. They invited us out, bought us lunch, really kind of, they had done their homework on who HRC was and what we did, and, and why they wanted us there. And they're really invested not only in the Phoenix community, but in the gay community in Phoenix. I mean, Marriott as a whole, I think as a company is pretty good
Right.
about
Overall, I think you're right
So
on that.
it's kind of neat, and I'm glad that they were there.
Are we doing HRC at is it the Civic Center? Is that where are we doing it this year?
Contracts haven't been signed yet.
Okay. Do we have potential?
We are potentially going to be at the old Phoenix, the old South Mountain Resort, which was
the Point.
the
Oh, the
old
Point?
Point South
Point.
Mountain.
Yeah. Oh God, they have space.
Yeah, they
Jesus
do.
Christ.
And they actually have, it sounds a little bit interesting, right? So when you drive on one of the big freeways here in Phoenix on the I-10,
Right.
you can see 6 months out of the year a big giant tent outside there. So
Right.
it's actually, we're very close to signing a contract to holding it there.
Okay.
In their outdoor pavilion. It's interesting because laws prevent them from actually grounding it and keeping it in one place because it's only a semi-permanent structure. They have to move it every 6 months. So they uproot this gigantic tent and move it to another side of the property.
Well, they take it down for big parts too because they don't use it a lot in the
Right.
summer.
And
I
it-
worked
I hadn't heard
there
of
for
that.
2.5 years.
Yeah. And it's really a cool space. There's a lot we can do. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
Cool.
When I was Point Hilton, the rooms are lovely. The pool's lovely.
The pool, my God, it's so
the
fun.
sports bar pool and then the main pool are
With
all
like
nice.
we did a little family staycation. It's like a little water park.
Oh, it's right there. I forgot about they
So
put the water
cool.
park in the last year I worked there, and
That was fun.
we enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So the National Gay Football League, Flag Football League was here. That was fun. Of course, working Saturday, Sunday as I do, and now we're off. And then yesterday, Columbus Day show at the bar, running that. So I'm showed up for now. However, we start back over again on Friday because Rainbow's Festival Weekend kicks off this weekend, and the opening party is, of course, at Charlie's. So we've got all that. And AIDS Walk Phoenix, is this Sunday. So you all are joining at Charlie's at 7 a.m. to meet Barbara Seville and Company. I already got mine and Mom's shirts.
Yeah, how can we get those?
You just touch base with Barbara.
Yeah,
She
okay.
will have them the morning of the event at Charlie's.
I saw that.
There's the Continental Breakfast. We all are there. We all have passes for the light rail, courtesy of the city of Phoenix, so we can just jump on the rail, go downtown. You can be done and back in bed by noon if you walk briskly and get it all done.
Are you planning on driving to the Charlie's?
So I'm actually not going to be doing the Charlie's portion of the day.
Okay.
I was invited to
Something else at 7 a.m.?
Come on, name dropper.
No,
Whatever.
I was invited to work with Glenn Spencer from Aunt Rita's,
from Aunt Rita's.
to help to MC the event.
Oh, okay.
So we won't be. I think they have someone different doing a closing piece. So I think that once we're done, kind of with that opening, we can hop off and walk with our teams. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. So I will be.
So you'll already be there.
I'll be down there.
Jeezy Pete, you're gonna get up earlier.
Yeah, we got to be there.
So if we touch base, though, we can get them ahead of time and be able to wash
Yeah, I've
them
already
and-
got mine washed and dried, so there's that.
That's
But
what
yeah,
we're looking
just,
for.
just reach out to Barbara Seville and she'll get them for you. They're really cute shirts.
Yeah, they're cute.
Good.
There's a hidden message behind them, kind of. We'll explain more of that later.
And only on Facebook, by the way, because apparently her phone is dead.
Well, no, she lost it.
Oh, she did.
She doesn't know. She had it yesterday, and now she doesn't know where the hell the phone is. So yeah, if you need to get in touch with Barbara Seville, go to barbaraseville.com and it'll take you right to her Facebook page, and boom, you can get right in touch with Barbara. 7:35. It's the show. It's a
What
Tuesday.
color
night.
are they?
They're white with yellow with a yellow.
I want to know the
Do you
story
remember
behind
with the Wonderful 100? It was like the Wonder Bread.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Right?
That's
I
my favorite.
loved
So
that.
cute.
But they
And-
were white, and this one kept going on and on about a barn. About like
Yeah, if you want to
white-
make a house look bigger, paint it white.
Paint it white. That's right.
Oh my God, that was fantastic.
Anywho, we're coming back with some headlines. We got all kinds of stuff coming right here on Q Talk America.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
I'm straight.
I'm gay.
I'm bisexual.
And I give a damn about equality.
Want to know why?
Because one hate crime is committed approximately every hour of every day in this country.
Imagine walking down the street and wondering if this is the day you'll get beaten up or even killed simply because of who you are.
Because many gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender teens who come out to their parents are thrown out of their homes.
Imagine confiding in the people you trust most, only to be rejected and tossed out with no place to go.
Because during the past 16 years, over 13,000 men and women have been discharged from the military for being gay.
Imagine being willing to sacrifice your life to protect and defend this country, only to be kicked out of the military because of who you love.
These are just a few of the reasons why we care about equality.
It is time for things to change.
We all have to get involved.
We all have to give a damn.
I give a damn.
Do you?
Join us at WeGiveADamn.org to learn more.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Alrighty, here we go. Some around the world headlines brought to you by Marnie and me, and well, we're going to let Katie and Al discuss them too, because well, that's just how giving we are.
Thank you.
You're the nicest white people I've ever met.
The Grand Canyon reopens while trying to deprive the poor.
Hucksters, shysters, and egos. Oh my!
The LDS Church has got some change from the inside.
Sasquatch rocks.
Jesus himself shows up to challenge anti-gay protesters.
999 planes, trains, and automobiles.
And apparently this matters. A billionaire uses a flip phone? Go ahead.
Idiocracy, cake versus pie.
Ooh. Anybody have a preference, cake over pie?
We'll get there.
Well, oh, okay. Oh,
Wow.
there's a statistic that
There
we're going
is,
to
there
talk.
is.
Oh, I enjoy statistics.
I like it.
They're fun to do.
I like how you jumped on that.
Okay, gosh. Well, the world sort of took a notice of Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, and as I say that, I know my mom is cringing right now. They took a look at Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones' phone last week at an Arizona State Notre Dame football game, which was for recruiting and financial reasons being played at Cowboy Stadium in good old Arlington, Texas. The venue, also known as AT&T Stadium, note to self, technology company. But if you want to now call it the Flip Phone Dome, you certainly can, because at one point, Jones appeared on the game's TV broadcast while talking on his little flipper phone inside his luxury box. And that's when the tweets started pouring out from ESPN anchor Matt Berry. He wrote, Jerry Jones is worth over $1 billion, but my man still uses a flip phone. Hashtag bless his heart. So clearly, viewers were jarred by the sight of this very wealthy man using something many of us now look to as a museum piece, which, mind you, would be in a crappy museum.
Yeah.
What
shit that doesn't work anymore.
Right. What is it you called it?
.com.
The Judy Jetson phone of the future?
Judy Jetson, girlfriend of the future.
Got it. What's interesting about this is that not like Jones can afford a smartphone, he just chooses not to have one. It's odd that a man who otherwise seems so committed to technology, such as has such an old school device to use for his phone. For those of you who don't know, his football stadium holds one of the largest, most advanced high-def video boards. It stretches 160 feet wide. It is 72 feet tall. For example, if the stadium roof was open and you were standing on the moon with nothing else to do, you could watch a Cowboys game. I mean,
That's crazy.
I wouldn't, but you could if you wanted to.
Wow.
But you could.
After all the outrage and amazement about his phone, Jones later went on a local radio station to address the non-situation. Quote, I don't know what to say other than I can guarantee you that AT&T is on top of this flip phone. It works for me and I don't have any butt dialing issues with that thing. I know that much. Well, that might
Well,
be.
your second problem is that you have AT&T, so not only do you not have service anywhere, but then you have a piece of shit phone.
I have excellent service everywhere.
That's because you don't go anywhere. If you leave,
I go everywhere.
You leave downtown Phoenix, and AT&T is the shittiest.
I had excellent service in San Diego. I
love
have
AT&T.
excellent service in Tucson.
shitty service.
I
I
like
never
it.
have-
No, I like it. I'm all set.
Well,
I've seen their map.
The butt dialing may be a legitimate argument for flip phone users. Excuse me. They do tend to last longer by virtue of the fact that they're not trying to power a million different apps, all of which are keeping you from performing your duties at work and distracting you for other things. Now, it could be the reason that Jerry Jones is so successful is that he can't be bothered with all the distractions, whereas at this very moment, the following apps are currently running in the background of my phone. Messages, Safari, Facebook, Twitter, Clock, Notes, the Weather Channel, Instagram, Camera, Mail, Calendar, Google Maps, YouTube, Words with Friends with my mom, and Settings. On Jerry's phone currently, phone is all that's running. Now, perhaps the correlation between focus and wealth is that Jones's net worth is worth $3 billion. I'm worth this Diet Coke and my phone. And that's really about it.
What I own outright. This Coke,
This Diet
that's
Coke
leaving me,
and this iPhone.
which I'm about to put in the toilet via surrogate.
But now, how many other people? Now, I know you were, I wouldn't say you were necessarily against it for the longest time. You had a phone that made calls, and that's all you needed to do.
Yeah.
So, how many do we know other people who are just, that they still have the older phones and are fine, or do we?
I see people at work here and there that have them.
Mom doesn't have a flip phone, but she doesn't have a smartphone.
Okay.
I mean, it's
What does she have?
just like one of the just little face thing, and then
A soup can and string, Katie.
Yeah,
She's
throws
like
the other one.
she's like 2 phones back.
Yeah, exactly.
that's like
I'm
before the
it's-
flip phone.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
and
before
the
that.
display is green,
Monochromatic.
like X-Files green.
maybe I don't
Maybe.
look at it.
My
very
dad-
often, but
Could be
yeah,
blue.
could be blue.
My
came-
dad had a
they came
flip
in 2
phone.
colors.
Except, wait a minute, it goes like this.
Oh, it's
So
a
that's
black-
kind of a flip phone.
Not a BlackBerry.
I know what you mean.
I know
Yeah.
it's, it's a slider, though. It
Yeah.
slides
A
up. You got
slider,
the
yeah.
QWERTY
It's
keyboard.
annoying, is what it is.
Well,
Yeah.
it's your mom's. I mean, she's not suffering with that piece of shit BlackBerry you got.
I don't have BlackBerry anymore.
Are you completely out of the BlackBerry world? Completely?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you still had that thing lingering around.
No, I got rid of that other number
Do you have
and
to?
everything else,
Do you
because
have
so I
to?
just use my work phone for right now.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, that's cool. Now, my mom probably would not have upgraded because, again, the phone made phone calls and she could text with it
Right.
and take pictures. So she was fine. But when I upgraded to the 5, I gave her my 4. And I don't think there's any turning back now. I think she loves it because she can do things. It's Words with Friends. She does all kinds of stuff. And
Sure.
So,
My dad had a flip phone until my mom, something happened, like, the contract expired and she got like buy one, get one free, that kind of thing. And so she was like, she harped on him for the longest time to get a phone. And he kept going, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't need it. I don't need it. So now he has the iPhone 5
Okay.
S, maybe the brand new one.
Okay.
And he doesn't know, no clue. And he's trying, bless his heart, because he's
Yeah.
really trying. But he's like, he's like doing this thing where he's like holding it at the distance, like squinting with one eye to like see what he's typing. And
it's just a phone. And mine, because I was going to get a new phone, and Apple screwed themselves out of money. But to update to their new iOS 7.93452.
yeah, I think it kind of stinks, right? People don't like it.
No, I love it. It's
Well, they
perfectly okay.
they already like fixed it 3 times.
Oh,
right.
So my computer said either you update this or we trash your phone. So it restored it to factory settings, and he was like, "Well, you can get all those apps back." I'm like, "If I don't remember what they were, then I clearly don't need them."
Yeah.
So I have 3 apps. I have Snapchat because my niece does it, and a boy, and my bank and my security system. But I'm like, I don't want I'm trying to get rid of the compass, but you can't get rid of that. I'm like, there is
I've
no
cleared out a bunch of
situation
apps, yeah.
where I will need that
Oh,
compass.
you never know. At some point, you're going to be lost. If you call me asking me to get my compass out and find you,
Oh, exactly. Get out your compass and find out where I am. Then
Find me, please.
You could just drop a pin. Then you have to drop in a pin. There's in the
then
map.
you can
There you
share.
go.
Then you can
Boom.
share your location. Boom! I can find you. I can
Yep.
drive to
Got
you.
you.
see, compass lost.
It's the name of the new show.
Compass lost.
That's right. Hucksters, shysters, and egos. Oh my.
Oh, my.
Oh my.
One of those is an anti-Semitic term.
That fucking Ann Coulter had to do with Liz Cheney. Talking about the fact that
now, which one's which? Liz and Mary. I get them. Is Liz the Les?
Liz is the gay one from
okay, Liz the
everything
Les.
that I
Shouldn't
remember.
the L.
Yeah.
Yep, now we got it.
The L word.
I
L
may
word.
be wrong.
I don't
but
remember.
I don't think so.
Because Mary's because the other one is they're mad at each other now because Mary is running for Senate or
Liz
Congress.
is running.
Then Liz is not the. Then Mary's the.
Then
lesbian.
Mary is okay.
Yeah. The one that's running.
I always did the L thing too. That's why.
Clearly, we're
so.
wrong.
Very.
There's that.
Well, I'm glad I could clear that up.
Thank you, Alfred.
Thank you. Thank
Save
you.
the day. Hashtag.
So anyway, Ann Coulter just gets out there and runs her fucking mouth. And,
No, that's no doubt.
Cunt.
Thank you.
Oh, I learned something about that. Go
That
ahead.
she's a cunt. Yeah.
No, something else.
Simple. That these people are ripping off the Republican Party for their own self-aggrandizement. I did this earlier like 9 times.
I was actually saying aggrandizement. Yeah,
exactly.
I like to put the emphasis there.
For their own egos and to make money, like the Todd Akins, Newt Gingrich, Liz Cheney, Mark Sanford, that they're all in the same boat as far as trying to ruin the GOP. That all these people are trying to ruin the GOP.
She's not, though. She's trying to keep it on the straight. Yep,
she's
good.
amazing. She's
yeah.
amazing.
The straight and narrow.
Yeah, like so Aiken, McMahon, and Reese. It's pronounced Reese, isn't it? R-A-S-E.
Yeah.
I think it's Reese.
Yeah, I think so too.
Of West Virginia. They all lost in 2012 their Senate races by double-digit margins. And Gingrich obviously was out of the president real fast. Yeah. But the Sanford emerged victorious in a May special election. Aside from these things, the lone person involved in a current campaign, then Coulter's line of names that she keeps throwing out, is Cheney. And this Liz Cheney announced she'd mount a challenge against the incumbent Mike Enzi. Enzi.
Oh no! I got the wrong state. It could be
Enzi
anybody.
of Wyoming.
Yeah. I don't know the senator there.
Yeah, and Coulter predicted that it would just cause unnecessary trouble for Enzi. That basically the GOP is trampling over each other, which is exactly what they're doing.
Exactly what they're doing.
And it's been what they've been doing for like
because it's
awesome.
Now they're primarying each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're primarying each other because they kind of find somebody even further to the right from the. Now I love Gloria on CNN. Gloria.
And I was going to say Allred,
Berger,
but it's Berger.
Gloria Berger. She calls them the Hell No Party.
I was going to say Allred, and that's so nice. I love it. I haven't heard that.
That's fun.
I love it. Well, and when you have like Ann Coulter like spitting fire and venom at other, it just makes me laugh. Like that's just right there where you go, hello. She says, why should we be having? And I love Liz Cheney. Of course she does. But why should we be having a rancorous primary against a good Republican senator other than for Liz Cheney's ego? So she's trying to point out that like all these people are becoming that they're all very egotistical. And I thought, duh.
From that mouth,
right? That
who put a camera in front of her and she'll just talk a stream of bullshit forever.
Absolutely.
And hate.
Yeah, and hate. Right.
Oh, she spews.
Yeah. And I thought that article was actually rather tame. Of course, it was about the GOP, but just the idea that of course they're all running over each other to try to. Well, maybe I can fix this.
And she is further to the right. If you look at Cheney,
you're correct.
Like she is actually, and her father's Darth Vader. So you got to figure, she even makes Darth Vader look better.
Liz, I am your father.
Yeah, but I mean, she's further to the right than Cheney, and he would invade an Albertsons if you gave him $5.
Right.
Well, he'd make $5
Too
off
fitty.
of it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Fitty.
exactly.
Yeah,
He'd make money off of it.
Yeah,
But
you're
she's-
right. I didn't realize that she was
batshit crazy to the left.
I love that they're
To the
trampling
left or
over
to the
to the
right?
right.
Sorry, to
I
the
love
right.
that they're trampling over each other
Pointing
in
left.
potential primaries and races, but I also love to watch. I'm loving watching them implode over this whole government shutdown, and I love to see. I love that the excuses that they're using. They're like, well,
we never thought we were going to get the Obamacare. We
Yes.
never believed that.
Yes, and I love it when and you can literally find quotes of one senator saying, "Oh hell no!" and I'm going to stand up to this, and we're never going to, we're never going for Obamacare, and we're going to shut down the government. And literally a month later saying, I knew this was a bad idea from the beginning.
No,
and I said
it was going on all over the TV today. They're all
yeah.
like, "Oh, we never meant to defund Obamacare.
That wasn't
We're
what we
just
wanted.
standing up to the debt." And you're like,
No,
you weren't.
You all knew going in.
It's just that now
bad.
we're 28 hours away from
And,
the
I really have to say, God bless.
It would
not
be
less.
at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken.
And I love
okay.
that John McCain was one of the first ones to come out and go, well, we fucked this up.
Yeah.
This is a mess.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he-
He
okay,
came out
good.
last week and was saying, well, the Republicans really screwed the
Well,
pooch on this one.
he said from the very beginning. Well, plus he's another one that would gladly invade a supermarket for $5
given
more
the chance,
dollars,
right.
so that Cheney can
And
make
a
a couple more
camera.
bucks. So
Yeah.
once Syria was done, and I can't remember, is he officially done? Did he announce that he wasn't going to run
McCain?
next year?
No.
I haven't heard
didn't
that.
hear
Because
that.
he's up next year, and I think he's going to get out before he gets primaried, because he's gonna face a lot of shit.
Sure.
Because he wanted to invade Syria. He's been against the T-turds for this entire run.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's gonna get. It's gonna be a good time next year to
I
watch
know
them
you-
out
It'll
crazy.
be fun to watch.
I know
Out
you.
crazy
The
each other.
warmonger.
I know
Yeah.
you no longer listen to them because you think that they are opposed to everything that you believe in.
Oh,
but,
every time I leave
but-
the house, I listen to like 5 minutes,
but-
and I want to kill myself.
Okay, but anyway, so listening to them today as I ran an errand, it just happened that Meghan McCain was on with them because she comes on every week or so and talks about different things. And she even said, like, how disappointed she was. She goes, I'm tired of everybody thinking that just because I'm affiliated with that party that I hate everybody and I want to ruin everything. She goes, I really just want some other party to win. She goes, neither one of them, Republicans nor just somebody else come in. She goes, I'm just tired of all of this.
Well, that happened with the Tea Partiers.
Yeah. She's
And we
about-
don't
But I
want
don't think
that
she wants
part
them.
happen
I just
again.
think
Well,
she
I'm
wants like
saying
some.
that's the problem, though, when you just
Yep.
kind of say, just hope it's someone else. Then you get like just the crazy fuckers that are
crazy-
like,
And it's one of the
Michelle
Republican
Bachmans and
one of the Republican senators, I think it was a senator today, said, this is just Ted Cruz. Like, she's like, we all just got caught up in Ted Cruz campaigning
Yeah,
for president.
yeah.
She's like, what?
Good point.
And she was like, why didn't we see this coming? I'm like, why didn't you see this coming?
Sure.
Plus, the field day that they're going to have with him when he has the exact same story as Obama.
yeah.
Like, but both his mother's American,
Canadian, right?
His father's Cuban,
Oh,
born
Cuban,
born
yeah.
in Canada when they were on vacation. But because he has an American mother, he's automatically a U.S. citizen. No. You guys fought this tooth and nail, and we need to. And so Donald Trump's already on it. Like Donald Trump's not wanting to seem like he's completely batshit crazy.
No.
So he's on the.
What
cruise.
about Arpaio?
He's on the cruise can't be president either, which I think is funny. Like you got to stick to it.
Yeah,
So
you
all
got-
those
It's true.
birthers.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You can't
Plus he's
play-
not white. So the birthers are going to have a field day with
yeah.
this. Even though Republicans love the Cubanos, like this ain't your guy.
Not this one.
But this woman on TV, she's like, oh shit. She's like, I'm part of a political campaign for this fucker to run for president. I'm paraphrasing, but that was
Summarizing,
Either
as it
that or it
were.
would have been
yeah, like when they bring Dexter to CBS, like they're always threatening to. The character of Deb represented by the phrase beep.
and it lasted one show.
Yes, just one. Just the one, dear. Well, a man dressed as Jesus Christ arrived to protest anti-gay protesters at the AIDS walk in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Some might call it an act of divine intervention.
Some might.
This past Sunday, tens of thousands of people joined the AIDS walk in LA, benefiting AIDS Project LA to raise money for HIV and AIDS prevention, treatment, and various awareness programs. Despite the outpouring of support, a handful of people, of course they do because they got nothing fucking else better to do, showed up to protest the goodwill efforts of the and with all their anti-gay rhetoric. The protesters were armed with homophobic signs reading, quote, homosex is sin, and the other one, quote, warning, sodomites, fags, dykes, homos, fairies, lesbos, queers, fudge packers, muff divers, and perverts. Hell awaits you! Aren't they all crafty writers? They really are. In the midst
Fudge
of all...
packers and muff divers.
In-
That's
I like
awesome.
it. That's
In the
good.
midst of the picketing, a man
Too
dressed
sweet.
like Jesus in a white tunic and a full beard arrived to challenge those protesters. He stood alongside the hate mongers on the sidewalk while carrying a bunch of red balloons.
99?
Not
wouldn't that
99
be
down.
nice? I like it.
Quote, it was amazing. It was kind of amazing seeing Jesus posing with a cluster of red balloons early on the LA AIDS walk, just after the masses turned off Santa Monica down La Cienega.
La Cienega.
Writer Brody Brown, who
Careful.
snapped photos of Jesus, told the Huffington Post in an email on Sunday. The Jesus impersonator was later identified as Kevin Light. He reportedly joined the AIDS Walk march and posted videos of the crowd on his Instagram account. Now, for those of you who don't know, the AIDS Walk began back in 1984 during the AIDS epidemic, and according to the AIDS Walk website, the first LA Walk surpassed expectations to raise over $670,000 and draw a crowd of 4,500. It has continued to grow ever since, attracting support from celebrities, political figures, community leaders alike. This year, Richard Simmons, Wayne Brady, Corbin Bleu, and LA Mayor Eric Garcetti joined their efforts. This year, I'm sure, as we were just talking about the AIDS Walk in Phoenix, I'm certain that the mayor will be there along with other dignitaries from our fair city, as they typically always are. Do you know anything about who might be attending with us? Stanton and his wife?
Yep, the mayor and his wife will be there. And I'm not sure. I would imagine probably some of our state reps, but I don't. I know the mayor will be there.
Will Kirsten be here, or do you know?
She will not be here.
Yeah, I would doubt that.
We've had to kind of cancel everything.
Well, sure.
Here,
the shutdown's killing everybody.
Well, no, but they're staying for resolutions and non-votes.
Right.
Like they have to be ready in case the House actually votes on something.
So
it could happen.
I actually just got script stuff, so I'm not sure. I just got it like late this afternoon, so I know the mayor will be there and Nicole, which would be exciting. We love them to be supportive.
It was a big turnout. No, I didn't do it last year, but I did the year before. It was a big turnout and huge from when we did it, and then we used to do it in the 90s. But then the Halloween show was always the same weekend as the AIDS Walk, so we always just gave, slept in for the cure.
You tell me it's
still
a box. I remember that.
It's a box you can check, so I check it for a lot of different diseases.
I heard this, and you can confirm or deny this as to if it's accurate. Now, I understand that the AIDS Walk people want to change. They tried to move it to not coincide with Rainbows Festival because they're trying to separate the two, because they say that the Latino community and the African American, so many other communities associate the AIDS Walk with a gay event that they won't come out and support, and they're not getting the education or the outreach that they need to get. So they were trying to make them be two different weekends and not make it look like it's one big gay event, because it's not a gay event. It's
not.
Coincidentally, Rainbows Festival weekend, which is not affiliated at all, happens to be on the same weekend. Do you know it? Do you know anything about that?
I do not, but I do know.
Well, back to you, Marnie. We're good.
But we are losing ground because the homosexual community was the most educated, and new cases were on the decline for way over a decade. And now they're spiking again.
Yeah, but there's a really simple answer to that, as far as I'm concerned. Everyone thinks that they're so safe because of the different drugs that are out there and the wonderful medications.
I feel like they think it's like any other. And not to say any other, but there are other STDs that you get.
It's under the manageable diseases category now.
Exactly.
Or you get diabetes because you eat too much chocolate, and you can manage it. And that's what I think people really, really, really think about HIV.
Well, and you've also got the youngsters, the kids. I mean, granted, I kind of feel, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I'm putting, you're how old?
33.
You're probably on the last end of the group of people who are educated. I think everybody under your age, because I see these kids because I'm around the bars all the time. Mm-hmm. The new ones who show up, anywhere from 21 to early 30s. Again, they're invincible. They're young, and they don't. That was something that their friends of a friend. Those old guys had it, right? Yeah. It was something, like that.
Even friends of mine who knew about it and felt like they were well educated. I think people that I know, my age group, are still got infected because they were like, well, we know about it, but it's kind of not going to happen to me. I think there's also that, which is just a young person's attitude of like, oh, this happens to other people.
Drinking and driving, seatbelts,
everything,
whatever it is.
It happens to someone else.
But I remember for a fact being at the hospital with Woody, and the line of people, and I'm certainly not going to mention names, but I remember after he passed, and we all went up to Mary's, and we were sitting there, and I remember begging. There were 3 different guys, just be careful, like. What do you think? And don't just run out, and because you're young and you're cute and you can get whomever you want and everything.
It'll never happen to me.
It'll never happen to me. And I remember them just kind of being like, "Chill out, old lady," but really, like, can you just think it through?
Yeah. And there's that profiling that goes on. I'm like, well, he's white. He's nice. Drives a nice car. He won't have it.
Right.
I know
That's a dirty people. You know what I mean?
You're right.
That's become
You're
a
absolutely
really
right.
prevalent thing of like, oh, that's a dirty people disease. Like it's turned into
And I
that. And
know
you're
some-
like, no.
Well,
So
and when you see T cells going down, which is wonderful, for folks that have HIV, to all of a sudden you see these T cells that are going up, whatever.
yeah.
Excuse me, that are going up, and they're like, oh my God, they're not going down anymore, and I have a great T cell count, and I'm invincible again. No, you're not.
Right.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
So, it's
And
just
luckily
all that
they-
And
they-
stuff.
after you
it's
are
scary.
exposed to HIV, and if you're managing it, you can still get different forms of the
That's right.
virus.
Yeah,
Isn't
that
that
don't
right?
respond to your
Yeah.
medication. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is
Yeah.
super scary. But I
And
also
you can get a more
know
virulent form. Like you can get like you had the happy kind of dormant form, and then all of a sudden, whoops, you slept with that guy.
And I know someone who thinks, he literally says he meets guys and goes home with men off of Grindr. He's young, and he says, "Well, but the kind of sex that we have, I'm very low risk,
Right.
so it doesn't matter." And I'm like, "Oh my God."
Yeah. Think again, my dear.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be doing a show about you
Bad
later
life
on.
choices,
Yeah,
yeah.
very bad life choices. Well, speaking of more bad life choices, stick with us. We got 2 more hours. 2 more hours of this festival of love and tenderness. Marnie's and I both have some more stories to get to. Coming up, also the drinking game. Al's going to give us some entertainment. Katie with, I don't know, sports, politics, nobody cares.
Entertainment. She's joining
There's
in.
that. Oh, there's that. We'll be back. It's the show with Katie, Marnie, and Al. It's a Tuesday night. It's Studio C on Q Talk America.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening once again, 8 o'clock. It is the show coming to you live on Q Talk America. We are from Studio C. We're not from Studio C. We're broadcasting. We're from various places around the country if you really want to know the truth. We are broadcasting live from Studio C in the heart of Central Phoenix on this Tuesday night. We are with you every Tuesday, 7 to 10 Arizona time. I'm here along with Katie June, Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins, and I am Clayton McKee. Thank you for being with us. We still have some more headlines to get through here in just a few moments, but before we do that, I think we have to get this very important thing out of the way. We like to call it our drinking disclaimer.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Well, I know that they weren't here last week, but our drinking word is going to be wham in China.
Oh my God, that is so funny because you totally, both of you missed it. I'll be happy to recount the story.
I think you
for
need to recap.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Well,
I went to start listening and then I didn't.
I couldn't.
I understand. Okay, so wham in China is the drinking phrase, is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the story behind that, and before we resume our little headlines here. For many years the 20 years I've been in Phoenix, we all know that those of us of a certain age, except her sister who doesn't even know Wham existed.
Or George Michael.
Right, or George Michael, right. He was cute when he was younger. Yeah, so was I. When they went to China, they were the first group to come in and be able to tour and do concerts and all that kind of stuff. Well,
they were on the Great Wall.
Huge
weren't they?
thing. Yeah, on the Great Wall of China. Yeah. So the video, the video of the tour was called Wham in China. Now, the funny thing to me about this whole deal was, well, when you see most I'm going to say broad brush. Most white people dance. More often than not, the Latinos and the blacks can dance very well in a concert and show their dancing prowess proudly. Not from China. No, they got little. The dance moves just aren't really coming to them as good. And I don't know if it's because they've been.
I'm moving to China.
That's your people.
Where they'll belong.
I'm going to be a great dancer.
The shitty wall. You got the shitty wall there. So since they dance horribly, the entire time I've lived in Phoenix, there has been this Asian kid who runs around at all the bars, and every time I've ever seen him dance, he cannot for the life of him. I have no idea what his name is. I've never met him, but his nickname to me is Wham in China.
Oh my God, that's
what
awesome.
I've always called him.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's where the Wham. So
that's amazing.
Last week,
I really hope to see him sometime.
I know.
If I see him and I'm with you, I will point him out to you.
I don't even know that he'll need to be pointed out.
Maybe not
at this point.
Well, but if he's not dancing, you won't know. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, he's cute. But
Yeah.
let's get him on the dance floor.
Yeah,
he's a cutie.
And you know what's funny about it is,
Oriental.
I have no idea how old the kid is.
That's a rug, but okay.
What'd you say?
Intentional racism.
Yeah.
There's that.
Oriental.
Yeah. So
Ancient Chinese secret, huh?
And I'm not sure how we got to the Wham in China story last week, but I was talking about the episode of South Park where the guy that owns the city walk, but he's Asian, so he calls it the shitty walk, and he had to build a shitty wall around it, and I would just die laughing because everybody would call him and he'd say, "You want the shitty chicken and the shitty beef?"
I think we insulted all of China
all of
last
China
week.
last week.
Yeah.
Probably
That's
did.
fantastic.
Well, speaking of
Because it was the Singhai that was supposed to be Shanghai, but they couldn't understand the name, so the sign's called Singhai. I don't know.
Oh, we're getting everybody.
Wham in China is
Wham in China is all I got to say. Drink
Wham
up.
in China.
Marnie,
Good.
continue on with our stories of inadequacy and immorality.
Well, Sasquatch rocks.
Yes.
Oh.
Is what it comes down to. Linus Norgren.
Linus.
He sounds great.
Well, he was naked.
Naked?
He was naked. Linus was. And not Charlie Brown Linus. Linus Norgren.
Okay.
And he was in, just wanted to make it clear.
Okay.
Because I love Linus.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown Linus. Got it.
Yeah.
A lot of clarification.
Wham in
China.
I
Pull it out.
I got Apocalypse. So, anyway, he's in Oregon. This Linus Norgren, and he's walking around naked, and he walks up to this guy in a forest who's hunting. Apparently, it turns out in his backyard because that's what you do in Oregon.
Okay.
And poor little Linus is only 20 years old. Poor little delicate flower. Anyway, he grabbed like an apple-sized rock and ran at this guy, whose name is Mike McDonald, I believe.
Oh, was he from the Doobie Brothers?
I keep forgetting.
We're
not in love anymore.
Okay, go ahead.
Wham in China.
I was just gonna say, and now it's going to rain.
Anyway, he goes running at this guy and screams, "I'm a descendant of Sasquatch."
Oh, boy.
Because that's what you do.
Okay.
In Oregon.
Okay, well.
If your name is Linus.
Okay.
Norgren.
And
these are all fair.
Now the weird thing is that it took
the weird thing. No,
It
that
hasn't
one
gotten
wasn't.
weird yet.
No,
Right.
not there yet.
It hasn't gotten weird yet.
Stand by.
That naked man, descendant of Sasquatch, all
Hunting
this is
in your
happening.
backyard.
Hunting in the backyard. A lot of woods.
Yeah,
A lot
okay.
of forest. So hunting in the backyard. Well, this Mike, not Michael. This Mike has his gun because he's hunting.
Yeah.
Puts it on the naked guy, not on the naked guy, but on the naked.
Aims
like,
at him.
Hold it,
Right,
yeah,
right,
hold
right,
it
right.
there, naked Sasquatch guy.
Yeah. Slow your roll. Just slow your roll.
Wham in China. Back the fuck up. So he holds it on him. He's able to yell out for help. Now, if a man yells out for help with the naked Sasquatch descendant in front of him, does anybody hear him?
If nobody else is around, does he make a noise?
I don't know. Apparently, the answer is yes.
Okay. Oh.
Someone heard, and they were able to call the cops.
Okay.
Well, this is good news. Good news, because naked Sasquatch guy is going to go away soon.
Sure.
Except forest is pretty dense. Or the cops are pretty dense. We're not sure what it is, but it took him 90 minutes to get to them.
Okay.
He had to stand there with naked Sasquatch for 90 minutes. That's just too long. 90 minutes.
No.
That's not
Yeah.
right.
At what point are you just kind of over naked Sasquatch?
At what point
Just let
do
him
you hand
run
him a
back
leaf?
into the woods.
If he doesn't hit you with a rock.
But he's in his yard.
He came at him with an apple-sized rock.
Can't he
but
just go home?
Maybe way out. Maybe.
Oh, it was a
maybe
lot of
way off.
land.
A lot of land.
Okay.
Apparently.
Under stars,
Well,
skies
you gotta
above.
be. You gotta be.
Well,
yeah, you gotta be.
But apparently he was able to get him. He was able to get to this McDonald guy because he caused broken fingers, dislocated shoulder,
Sasquatch
an
did?
eye injury. Yeah, he was able to.
Oh,
get
so he
to
didn't
him.
just advance with the rock.
He didn't walk up and go,
attacked.
"I'm
Oh.
naked Sasquatch."
Well,
Here's
you
a-
didn't include that in the original
well, because
story.
you interrupted me with that Michael McDonald thing, and I,
I
got
keep
all
forgetting.
lost.
You keep forgetting to tell us the whole story.
Yeah, exactly.
Wham in China.
So
I
he's
said.
gonna be fine.
Oh, sure.
He'll be fine. He'll heal.
Sure.
But here's the interesting part.
Still more
haven't
to
gotten
more to
there.
come, right?
Still
all
haven't
right.
gotten there. Now the investigators believe that Linus
Norgren.
Thank you.
He's our guy.
was under the influence of something.
Oh.
They're just
Bath
not sure
salts.
what.
Maybe bath salts,
Maybe a skin that crocodile
crocodile.
deal
Yeah.
stuff.
Stuff.
Anyway, he's facing charges though. Norgren is of assault, strangulation, and menacing.
Oh, that's bad. Menacing.
And
The menacing-
impersonating something only seen
A
on video.
Sasquatch.
Right, exactly.
Impersonating a Sasquatch.
Actually, a descendant of Sasquatch.
Oh, I'm sorry. The scion, if you will.
Now his bail is set at $250,000, and he had a court appearance
Wow.
this 4 days ago. We don't know if he has a lawyer.
Okay.
Who may be a descendant of the
And
Loch Ness monster.
There is, which was found today. There
Oh,
is
yeah,
no
California, I saw
word
that.
though on his actual relationship to Sasquatch.
Well, if you go to Ancestry.com, and you can start looking today
we
for
should
free.
we should try.
I heard that when the leaf comes up, you should really be
Oh,
interested.
get really,
That's when
then
you
you
start
pay,
paying
then you pay your
attention.
money to see more people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, so I didn't check it out.
Okay.
But I should find out for Linus because God, that could clear up some shit for him, don't you?
God,
think?
yeah,
It really
yeah.
could.
I think so.
And a new career. I mean, really, you start touring.
Put down the apple-sized rock.
Son of Sasquatch.
Put on some pants.
Go on tour. I mean, the state fair is going on right now. My God, what an opportunity!
You can go see the giant pig.
At the fair here.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah.
Oh, here.
The actually the
there
alligator,
always
which
is. The
embarrassingly
alligator.
enough I paid to go see,
you
and I was
really?
just real sad. I went in and I had to
Why?
leave. It's just really sad for that poor giant alligator. It's really not that
'Cause they're
the
like
alligator is
anything
that
like this?
giant. It's that the box they keep them in is so fucking small
Actually,
that it
so
looks,
picture me sitting in an airplane seat.
but like enclosed in a box and on
Wham
display.
in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but really, that's what.
so
And the
sad.
pig, same thing.
So
Big
sad.
pig.
Yeah.
Where is this at?
At the
At
state
the
fair.
state fair.
Oh, again.
Yeah.
So again, they could put him in. Like
That's
a
some
thing
Wham
like
in
that.
China happening there.
Yeah,
at the
You got
state
the
fair.
Can't
cat
win if you
lady
don't play.
singing. I'm on at 8, and then you have.
You can't play if you don't go. I think that's the better phrase.
So
Okay.
I'll try to update you later.
She cries
on
every time she
Sasquatch.
sees the tilt-a-whirl.
Spin me one more time, Daddy. I don't know what that even means.
I don't either.
By the way, I just want to say hello to our friends. As we told the story before, that story about the South Park episode, we'd like to welcome Thailand, Japan, and Malaysia to our listeners right now on the audio-only stream.
Have you ever seen Wham?
Do you remember the 80s when Wham came around? No.
I don't know how big. Was it a world tour?
Wake
No.
me up.
Yeah. I keep forgetting.
We're going back to Michael McDonald. Got it. If you're listening and would like to go to the chat room, please do find us in the chat room. Let us know where you're listening from, and dear God, tell us why.
We're trying to put a survey together. No one will answer the goddamn question.
No, nobody wants a survey.
Assholes.
I'd rather a poll.
Really?
Yeah, for dance?
Or
If
check
you would.
any of those Eastern countries, fine with me.
Or bong for you, as I'm going to guess. Occasionally. You're a one-hit wonder, though. You giggle and you're done. I know. Hey, you told me. Wendy and Tom Montgomery went door to door in their California neighborhoods back in 2008, campaigning for the passage of the anti-gay marriage proposition, which we all know as Prop 8. They were among thousands of faithful Mormons following the direction of the church that spent millions on the cause back during that election cycle. Then they learned last year that their 15-year-old son is gay, a revelation that rocked their belief system. Now, Wendy Montgomery is leading a growing movement among Mormons to push the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to teach that homosexuality, is not a sin. They are hopeful. The Utah-based church's stance on homosexuality has softened considerably since it was one of the leading forces behind California's Prop 8. A new website launched this year, and I remember hearing about this on the news, encourages more compassion towards gays, implores them to stay in the faith, and clarifies that church leaders no longer, quote, necessarily advise gays to marry people of the opposite sex in what used to be widely practiced Mormon workaround for homosexuality.
It was a workaround,
yeah,
too.
Total workaround.
I knew so many gay Mormons that had
Reach
a wife.
around or a worker?
Wait, either one.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't sure.
Wham in China. Same fucking
Wham in Mesa.
Not so much Wham in Mesa.
Wham in Gilbert.
Ever since their policy got soft.
Now, in May of this year, church leaders backed the Boy Scouts policy allowing gays in the ranks. Some gay Mormons who left, I read that completely wrong. They were, Boy Scouts a policy allowing gays in the ranks of the Boy Scouts. Some gay Mormons who left the church were forced out because of their sexuality are now being welcomed back, even though they do remain in same-sex relationships. Wendy Montgomery says that her world changed. Now, this I thought was interesting in this story. She said her world changed after she read her son's journal in early 2012 and learned that he was gay. She said it made her question everything. She said she was the 37-year-old mom. She goes, I'm looking at this boy who is totally innocent, pure, and an amazing kid. And I think, quote, either I know that everything about what I know about homosexuality is wrong, or my son is not really gay. And he's obviously gay because he says he is. So she says that she had to unlearn everything that she had learned from the church.
I don't know. I just don't buy that. I have to unlearn everything. Shut up. I guess I get it, but I don't get it because
Well, you've been indoctrinated with hate, and so all of a sudden you find out that you've been a bigot all your life.
I guess that's very hard. I've never been there, so I think that my mind is easily. I'm open to new suggestions. I'm open-minded, so it's hard for me to believe.
That keeps you out of a lot of faiths.
Well, it's really
go to
hard for me
and
to
have some Kool-Aid.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
I'm with you.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
And I think for parents, when you're like, I'm a complete and total bigot, and I married one, and we actually went door to door, just telling people we were bigots, and we still have a gay son. Wow, how is that possible?
Right.
We couldn't be any more filled with hate, but we still raised a gay child.
Yeah.
Wow.
There were one of the moms and I don't want to be out of line with this because I want to give it the respect that is deserved. One of the moms that was a part of the ceremony that we did in Prescott, raised Baptist, so some different cult.
But then there's Baptist, and then there's Southern Baptist, and they are two
Southern
different.
Baptist.
Okay, yeah, because one's
Baptist,
crazy, one's
right.
woo crazy,
Yeah.
like Wham in China crazy.
Wham in Tennessee crazy is what this is. No offense, Tyler, but that's where she's from. So anyway, she was adamantly opposed. And oddly has 2 children, both are lesbians.
Oh my God.
Okay?
Oh.
And
she needs to just move past it. It's time to just move past it.
It's done. Dad, very, very much against it. So anyway, she went and talked to the pastor at this Southern Baptist church. And I thought it was really interesting.
Wait, the mom or the woman
the mom,
that got married? Okay, the mom went.
Before she came out here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because she was not coming. She was not coming.
Okay.
And she went and spoke to the pastor because that's what makes sense. You go and you're reaffirmed that you are correct.
I shouldn't be going to my daughter's wedding.
I'm being told I'm not, and that's good.
Oh, hatred and bigotry. Am I right in assuming? Yes. My child. Yes.
Except no. She got there and she was trying to explain it, and actually the pastor's wife showed up, and they all started talking, and their lesbian daughter had just thrown them, I believe, an anniversary party. I might be getting this all wrong. The pastors. And so when the mom of the gal who got married, one of them said, before she had learned about any of that, she said, well, my daughter is gay and is getting married this weekend, and I don't even believe in that, blah, blah, blah. And the woman looked up and she's like, well, why not? You're going, right? And
oh my God.
She was like, wait, her foundation, no pun intended, but was rocked.
Yeah.
Because, here they teach and spew all of this hate. So it's so contradictory. Like, how can you stand up in the pulpit and do that?
But I would have to imagine, though, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be interrupting you. I would have to imagine.
You just became Al, by the way, just so you know.
May I just?
Wham in China.
Wyatt is a church mouse over here. What happens in 3 words?
That pastor and his wife, granted, this whole story is hearsay and paraphrased and whatever, but if they were that forthcoming in saying, well, of course you should go to the wedding, I can't imagine that they stand up in the pulpit and spew hate. Maybe they just avoid the topic.
They may. You're
maybe they just don't
absolutely
talk about it. But the fact that, maybe they've only been this woman's, pastors at this church for a year. I don't know. But the fact that
I
that you
this
can
has
look
been ingrained for them for years.
that
before,
these people, that this mom, and I'm proud of her for attending, but the fact that this mom can say, well, you've always told, the church is always ingrained that hate, but these pastors actually haven't been saying that at all. So where really is this coming from? I don't know.
Now even the Pope, like now that they got rid of the Nazi Pope is still with us. He's just hiding somewhere in those shoes. But the new Pope is all about Catholics. Like, lay off the abortion gay talk. Like, stop.
Change your focus.
We're
And
coming
he
up as
certainly
Looney Tunes.
is not gay friendly, and I think that's been illustrated as well. But he's just doesn't want to talk about it.
But he's not a gay baiter.
Right. He doesn't want to go there.
Yeah, he's not at least not making that like the worst crime in the catalog.
Right.
Like, try to be kind to each other. Like, try compassion, like a Jesus-y kind of thing.
Well, and I think this woman wanted to be Jesus-y this whole time, because not only it was just the most.
How can you think
warm,
being
but
Jesus-y is
the
hating your
You're
child?
right. No, you're right. But that kind of hate,
Right.
I agree.
I
agree.
just don't get it.
But to be able to change that quickly, or seemingly change that quickly, I think is a huge testament to the fact that she really wasn't that way the whole time. That it wasn't that super ingrained. It's on the surface. That
she just wants to look that way the rest of her church. She wants to have the people over to play Roomy Tunes, whatever the dice game is. So you gotta wham in China and act like you hate all the same people.
Exactly.
Because I always
and
tell
we can
people,
discuss it.
if we're gonna date, not you and I, but just me and someone else in
that'd be
general,
awkward.
I don't care who you like, but we have to hate the same people.
That's actually such a good point.
Wow.
Because I don't want you bring someone over to my house that you love that I'm like, I'd rather step on that
We've
fucker.
talked about that before. Well,
it's a line from Funny Lady with Barbra Streisand. If you get a manicure and we hate the same people, we can be married next week.
She ended up lighting the remembrance candles. She was a part of it. Who gives this woman? When I asked that, she said at the rehearsal, she was like, "Should I say her father and I do?" Like, she was so wanting to be a part of it. And,
Did she cry? Because I'm gonna cry thinking about it.
I bawled through the whole thing. I mean,
did she cry?
The mom. Yeah. And then she was trying to light the lighter thing, and it was the one thing we didn't rehearse during the ceremony. And the other mom came over and lit it and said, "Okay, take my hand." And then they
now they're lesbians.
Well, right? But I mean,
wham in China,
seriously.
it's spreading.
But it's I just sat there. I was
tears.
The recruitment is up. She
And
gets a toaster.
The bride, who's the daughter of this one mom, was so happy.
Oh. There's no way not to be. It really
I wish I was there. I don't even know these women, and I really wish I was at your wedding.
Actually, I feel like you probably would know who they are, but I'll explain that later.
And Tim's wedding is on
Kato
YouTube.
was there. I don't know if you're-
He sent out a.
So there's video proof too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Bless them. It's a
Anyway,
lovely ceremony on a
digress.
cliff. But if you want to watch Tim's marriage,
Sorry about
it's
that.
up
but
on
I'm kind of
social media.
Yeah, YouTube.
Just a final note on this: the story about the parents who found out their child was gay. Their story is featured in a documentary made by the Family Acceptance Project at San Francisco State University. The Montgomerys found the organization after getting frustrated with church therapists who told them their son Jordan was just going through a phase. The organization works with conservative religious families to help them navigate their doctrines while also accepting their own gay children.
So they'll kick their children out the street, and
It's on our Facebook. I put links to several of the stories in today's headlines on our Facebook page. That one in particular, you can find if you want to.
Yep.
There was a story, and I don't know if we had talked about it a couple weeks ago, about the mom who kicked out her
and the grandfather wrote the
her
letter.
son, and the grandfather wrote the letter.
Wonderful.
And I loved that she, that he had said, the mom had said, "You're an abomination." And I love that the granddad was like, "The only abomination in this family is you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk to you until you get over this." And
That
I was
was
just
a-
like, boom, grandpa.
Yeah.
And I don't know how dated it is, but the Prop 8 documentary, and I can't. What was it called?
8, the Mormon decision.
Yeah.
Prop 8. The
That we
Mormon
went to
decision.
see.
They have the authors of the book that said they were kind of glad that their son committed suicide because it was better that he was dead than gay. I don't know if you remember that part of the
I
book.
do remember that.
Do
And the
remember
book-
I hadn't thought about
And they were
that.
authors, and they passed them out. So yeah.
I remember that.
Wow.
So
That's when you know.
I had not thought about
yeah,
that.
I love your religion. It's so filled with what's the word? Wham in China.
I want to say one other really, really brief thing about religion, then I'll be done. But my mom is a converted Republican, and
That's
so
a Republican, not a religion.
no, I know, but I'm saying
kind
like
of is.
Well,
I mean,
she's
dabble.
yeah.
my mom is a proud registered Democrat now, and but also very has been a lifelong Christian and really involved in her church. They're Methodist, which I know, like the George W. Bush, that one, the George
Almost all
W.
presidents are Methodist.
Bush Methodist
Cindy
is like
Brady.
real fucking crazy, and I know that Methodist is pretty conservative on the whole. My parents' church
They don't drink or gamble.
be,
So I was
yeah.
raised
but
Methodist.
yeah, my parents' church is not
failed.
really. They have a number of gay members. They have a transgender member in their choir. Like they're very kind of opening and whatever. But anyhow, but my parents have always been religious. They drink, they gamble, whatever. But
And all religions do behind when the cameras are
oh
off.
yeah, behind closed doors. But like openly, and it's
Give
not a
me
bad
the
thing to have
church
booze
wine.
and whatever. So
It is though if you're Methodist.
But that's what I'm saying. They're
Because that's kind of the method that they're teaching.
but it.
Yeah, my mom was the same. I was raised Methodist by a woman who went to
Yeah.
Vegas every year and
Yeah.
taught me how to make blender drinks. So.
Right. Thank you. And thank you,
Thank
Ruthie,
you for that,
those.
Ruthie.
Yes, that is, I was telling my dad all about it.
Wham in Vegas.
Wham in Vegas.
Many a good show have been had by Ruthie's blender.
Honestly.
Antics.
Shout out, Ruthie. But my point is that my mom is really involved in on social media and really likes to track and read about the Christian liberals. And she's really, really, really on board with a number of these because there's so many Christian conservatives and there's a lot of Christians and ministers and bloggers and writers and students of theology that are theologians, if you will, that are that are liberal. And there was an incredible article, and I meant to post it on Facebook, and to be honest, I didn't, because I just know that with half the people on my Facebook page, it would have just started a big fucking shitstorm, and I didn't even want to go there. And then I felt guilty because my mom said the same thing, and she said, but I'm going to post it because I want people to hear this and I want people to read this, and even if they disagree, I want them to see it. But it was about Michelle Bachmann specifically. And talking about how she says she legitimately and I didn't realize that she did with all of these, horrible natural disasters and typhoons and tsunamis and earthquakes and fires that are killing people. I didn't know that Michelle Bachmann was praising the Lord for these things.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I just missed that.
No, I'm not jumping on you for not knowing that.
She's
absolutely.
a cunt. Oh, yeah. She doesn't come about
She
that.
probably gets down on her hands and knees, not for anything with Marcus.
No.
Never seen a hard one.
No Wham in that bedroom.
No.
I love it. They said on Bill
Actually,
He's toe tapping
he might be
underneath.
listening to Wham.
on Bill Maher the other day, Jesus would be the first man she ever saw coming.
That's fantastic.
That's called
I
comedy.
like it.
You're
But
welcome.
she does. She probably gets down on her hands and knees and does her praying and is
Yeah.
like, please bring, horrible shit to these people all over the world so we can blame gay people.
Well,
I mean, really.
and I don't
God.
even, and it was just a really good article, about, and it went back
Send it
and
to me, please.
pinpointed the first religious man who had started praising end times, and this author actually pinpointed it to one specific person, and kind of how he was taking the Revelations as the only book, and. I don't know. It was just a really good article. It made me think of you because Michelle Bachmann was so awful in this. They were portraying her horribly, but it talked a little bit as well about
Just reality.
about her homosexual hate. Hating.
She has a gay sister. She has a gay son who's just flamboyant as hell, and she has a gay husband.
Yeah.
She's Liza Minnelli,
She's
ladies and
mad.
gentlemen. But just to help you out with the
She's
Revelations
upset.
part, and
Yeah.
the reason that the evangelicals are so worried about Israel is because they have to have, when the end comes, when the whatever it's called, Armageddon comes down and happens, there has to be Jews in Israel because they're going to be wiped out and leave it for the believers. So that is the only reason that the evangelicals are always trying to protect the Jewish state. They need, and look it up, it's an honest to God fact. It is what it says in the book of Revelations, is there must be Jews in Israel when the end comes so that they can be wiped out and the believers can go to heaven.
Wow.
So that is their only
crazy?
the evangelicals. That's why they want the Jewish state
State
it
to
has
remain.
Nothing to do with
Human rights.
That whole Judeo-Christian thing that they always throw on there. That the Republicans are always like, "Oh, we're a Judeo-Christian nation." They just have to be nice to Jews because they need them to be in Israel and die.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
for sure, they're praying for it regularly.
Regularly. Oh, of course they are, because it's the first time she's going to see a man come. I mean, I'm not making that up. Like, look it up. It's in the book of Revelation.
I guess my overarching point
That she's
here
filled with
is
hate.
just that it's really interesting when you hear, just to hear about like these Mormons may or may not be coming to terms, and I think a lot of that is because
evangelicals
the
never will.
tide is turning in the country, and get on board or you're gonna look fucking stupid and
Blondie
be left
said
behind.
the tide is high.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
I'm holding on.
I'm holding.
But I keep forgetting. Yeah.
I was trying so hard. I was singing it in my head. I was like, what's the next line?
Wham in China.
Wham in China.
There we go.
Anyway, I'm going to post it on our page in case anyone's interested. It's
Okay.
cool.
It is.
Thank you, yeah.
I actually saw that article, and I'm like,
I have not seen that. We were 6 minutes away from Marcus Bachman's little
coming out dance.
haunted house,
Okay.
and so we did.
Same thing.
We were like,
to all the
we
boys
need to
I've
go.
loved before.
Absolute. Ugh. We wanted to go over there. We just ran out of time before we had to get to the other side of town. But that would have been great. Stand in front of that. All done, fine, sir.
I don't even know whose story it was.
No, go. I'm trying to. The story about Santorum blaming homosexuals for the government shutdown just cracks me up.
Oh Lord.
Go ahead.
Santorum, the frothy mix of sperm and shit
God.
that's created by anal sex.
Oh.
Wham!
Google it.
And wham all over your face, really is what
Yeah.
that is. Cream pie.
I'm going to throw up a little bit, I think.
Go, Marty.
All right, then.
Okay.
Planes, trains, and automobiles, 999 of them, to be exact. There's a gentleman who had sex with 999 cars.
That's a thing.
That's a thing. It's called a mechaphile.
Perfect.
A mechanical mechaphile.
Mm-hmm. It's something that caught my eye because you don't hear about that daily.
No.
Wait, in 43 years, I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Not even yearly.
Edward Smith, he had sex with 999 cars, which, quite frankly, you turn that number upside down. He's the devil.
Okay.
But he's ready to
Del
commit.
Diablo.
Del Diablo.
As Gloria says.
He's ready to commit, though. He's ready to commit now to a VW Beetle.
Oh, shut up.
I'm not making it up. You can't make that kind of shit
car.
up.
Yeah. Perfect. Fucking grooving. Perfect Nugan.
Far from committing.
Women far from Newton. Caramel.
His love life's been in overdrive for about 48 years.
I keep forgetting.
He's not in love with those other cars anymore. No. By his count, he has had more than 1,000 sex partners. They went with 999.
By his count. 1,000 sex partners.
Where's he sticking it
I
in?
am super
The
confused
gas
about.
tank? Maybe the gas tank?
I
In the
don't
butt,
get it.
Bob.
The glove?
In the butt, Bob.
Maybe the
I keep forgetting.
glove
My apologies.
compartment? Maybe the tape deck?
Oh, is that an 8-track?
The lighter place?
The lighter
We're
place?
getting smaller and more
that
plausible
is
with
a
every
real-
time.
Well, for Ed Smith, that might be the case.
Or is he just popping up and down on the door lock?
Maybe.
That is just so awful.
Big door locks.
With the windows up, it's hard to do. But
I got me
windows
some-
down, a couple more possibilities.
I got me some big door locks.
I guess.
Well, and he also fucked a helicopter. Well, they called it a quickie.
What did I smoke before I walked into this?
I don't know.
I'm making that.
I'm surprised that you came up with this story.
Oh my God, it's killing me.
Okay.
He had
fucked a
it was
helicopter,
a helicopter that was used in the TV series Airwolf, as a matter of fact. So that was more. Some guys look at boobs and bums on beautiful women. He said, I look at the front and rear on beautiful cars.
Oh my gosh.
Is he just
Wow.
jacking off
I
inside?
don't get
He's
it.
no longer driven to have sex with just any car, though. He says his joyriding days are over and that he's committed to Vanilla, a Volkswagen Beetle that he's had for 30 years.
Of course, it's white. It's German.
When I hold
And smooth.
these are the kind of things, seriously, that you cannot make up. Quote, when I hold Vanilla in my arms, he's referring to a car, Katie.
my
I'm
God.
just going to point that out again.
Horrible.
When I hold Vanilla in my arms, there's a powerful energy that comes from her.
That's the
in
engine, you
response to
dumbass.
that.
It's a 4-cylinder, air-cooled.
If anything was to happen to her, I would be more than heartbroken.
And a Volkswagen, aren't you having sex in the rear?
Well, that's where the engine is.
Yeah, see?
yeah,
The
that you
older,
are.
the older. What year?
So he's gay,
Wait, what
too.
year is
We
it?
just
What year is it?
confirmed
No, he just likes it in the butt, Bob.
It's a 30-year-old car.
In the butt.
In the butt, Bob.
In the butt, Bob.
Okay.
The newlywed game.
It doesn't give what year she is,
Oh, okay.
Vanilla.
Oh, somewhere in the store.
find out.
All right.
What's the strangest place you've ever had sex? In the butt, Bob. In the
He
butt.
also has flings with the 1973 Opel GT named Cinnamon. And a 1993 Ford Ranger by the name of Splash.
I want to pull out.
This is just
May I?
ridiculous.
Only in an apocalypse.
Are you sure this isn't a satirical story?
Mechaphile is a unique fetish, but Smith claims he's not alone in the intense love of machinery. He estimates that there are at least 500 guys in the world who are also keyed into cars.
The keyhole.
Into cars, right?
Now I got
Now,
it.
okay, now
now I
let's-
found the hole small enough.
I enjoy mechanical. I have 5 lawn boy lawnmowers. I do not fornicate with my lawn
No,
boys.
You can love your car.
Yes.
Just don't love your car.
Wham and a Beetle.
Yeah.
A lube-
Janine Garofalo.
When he was 13,
Carry the one. Okay, got it.
the famous Corvette Stingray came about.
Oh!
That car was pure sex and just an incredible
It was a
machine.
whore.
And he wanted it.
This is so weird.
Yeah.
I didn't fully understand it myself, except that I know I'm not hurting anyone, and I don't intend to.
No, I guess he's not.
Nope.
Keep your registration paid up, sir.
Go with God.
I'd like
And
to see your license and registration.
I'm going to suggest leather seats.
And it makes that.
I
Makes
think
that
here
sound.
the wipeability
And
makes some sense.
Sex be chambliss, sex be chambliss, sex be chambliss.
She puts the lotion in that.
Oh, as long as you've got the lotion.
In the glove compartment.
In the butt fob. All right.
So funny.
I keep forgetting about the butt bump.
To wrap,
I make it up.
Oh, that's crazy.
The Huff Post.
The weird news of
It's
the
all,
HuffPost.
I have it all right.
I am learning more and more. The HuffPost, and I also found out that the app on your iPad and phone for the Associated Press, they have an odd stories section.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, it's so funny.
I don't know, they come up with all kinds of shit.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, let's wrap up our headlines by bringing it a little bit closer to home. How about good old sunny Arizona?
Oh.
Just when it seemed the state of Arizona couldn't sink any lower.
Oh, we can.
It became the only state in the union to stop welfare checks due to the federal shutdown. You may have heard about the federal shutdown. Maybe you haven't. The decision came in the face of assurances that the money would be reimbursed once the shutdown is over. This is again saying that if the state of Arizona paid welfare checks to recipients during the shutdown, Arizona would be paid back for that. Now, as if to add insult to injury, the state couldn't wait to reopen the Grand Canyon National Park on Saturday using $651,000 in state funds. That amount will keep it running for only a week, 7 days. There is no guarantee, however, that Arizona will ever be reimbursed for any of that money, apparently according to the negotiations that they made. The welfare decision was supposed to affect 5,200 families. They received an average of $207 a week from the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program. In other words, $517,000 to the vulnerable residents of Arizona get a week of support for their iffy existence. That's less money over the same amount of time that Brewer is using the money to open the Grand Canyon. She also says, however, after days of protests by Democrats and advocacy groups, Brewer finally reversed her order to halt the welfare checks. The Arizona governor said that using quotes, 3,200 families failed to receive their checks in October because of her
There's
actions.
just 3,200 starving people.
3,200.
That's a perfectly acceptable
Right.
number. It's kind of like someone whispers in her ear at some point and says, "Don't be a total cunt."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and they, shh.
Yeah.
But they don't do it well enough.
No, but because she backs off of everything. Like
Right.
she comes back of just about everything. It really is like someone's like, okay, you're a cunt, but try
Calm down.
not to exceed at it.
Yeah.
Make sure Ann Coulter and Michelle Bachmann are worse.
No, the quick decision to reopen the Grand Canyon though it's understandable because businesses were suffering under the closure of the park. And yes, it's worthwhile to bring income tax and dollars by reopening it. However, the state is also hoarding $450 million in a rainy day fund that wasn't, and they're questioning why wasn't that welfare used to support the Welfare Act. Arizona's priorities are just really fucked up. State Senator Minority Leader, is it Leah Landrum? Leah Landrum Taylor, the Democrat. But the rainy day fund is for emergencies, and this is an emergency.
3,200 starving people.
This is
are an
beyond
emergency.
She said this is beyond hurting families. Families are relying upon this.
But this is the party of family values.
Right, no, totally it
Just
is.
as long as you're white and have money.
And of course,
that's the family
there's no word from the governor's office about where the money would come from to restore the missing checks. Yeah, really not from the big rainy day fund. But there's obviously no shortage of money available to take care of the problem. How could a decision get any more immoral than choosing to feed Arizona's businesses and tourists while trying to starve the poor? I didn't realize that until that I just saw that story today, that it's crazy to think in that money, that's a week. That's just 1 week, and that much less money would go to take care of all these other people, real people.
Not take
just
care of them, but throw them a pittance.
Right, to give them something.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not being taken. Yeah,
They're not being taken care of.
They can buy like
to keep
milk
them at
and
poverty
bread.
starving levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, and bologna, which
Right.
I think is a meat.
Wow.
I mean,
Alleg-
wham in China.
Wham
We
in-
will never be sure.
Allegedly a meat. We're not really sure.
really delicious
Bologna.
meat, if you will.
Bologna, as I like to call
As a
it.
child, one of the few things I would eat because I was such a picky eater was bologna and mayonnaise, but it was Miracle Whip. Bologna and don't fuck with my Miracle Whip.
I know you and Aaron
just
can
not
share
a Miracle Whip person.
Oh, not
I
at
love those
all.
commercials where they're like burning her at the stake for Miracle Whip because I want to burn you at the stake.
Tangy
Wow.
deliciousness.
Ew,
It's
disaster.
It's got the zing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well,
And I will tell you, fat-free mayonnaise is a sin against God.
I did not like
Actually,
eating lunch at my grandma's because she only had Miracle Whip and I didn't know it. And one time I like bit into a sandwich and I was excited and I about threw it up.
Yeah, I still can't put mayonnaise in everything. I need my Miracle Whip
I know that we want to do
because it's natural.
his little thing.
Yeah.
Except you'll miss
Little.
out if we don't do this thing.
Oh, yeah. We
Okay.
got to do it.
All right,
Cake versus pie.
Oh, cake versus
Yeah.
pie.
Cake
Pie.
versus pie. So, Idiocracy did a whole thing on cake versus pie, and they actually held a symposium on it.
Like you do.
White people
like
problems.
You do. Mhm.
Right.
The world is
Exactly.
starving, but we're going to debate cake versus pie.
Completely what I thought. I was like, really? We had this whole thing on this, but they did. So the idea that which one, and I won't even go into this article because it really is pretty well written, and we'll be making the whiskey buttermilk pie at some point.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
I'm on board.
Give me that
I heard the
recipe.
word whiskey.
Pass it over.
So we'll
Not
be,
sure how close you
we'll-
were paying attention.
We'll be doing that,
I heard
but
pie.
just a curiosity. Which do
Pie.
you prefer, pie or cake?
Pie.
If you had to choose,
Pie.
we have pie. One.
I think I would go pie as well, though I love my German chocolate cake.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, I'll eat apple and cherry and peach and all the other pies. I
Muff diver pie,
I'd have to
fudge
go-
packer pie. I keep forgetting what other pies I
do
like.
appreciate that.
Homosex is a sin. You're not doing it right.
Wham and China.
Wham and China.
How about you, Miss Katie?
You know, I like
I know you
cake.
like your mom's.
The red velvet.
Red
Yep.
velvet, yeah.
I do really like cake, but I prefer pie, like a warm fruit pie with a big scoop of
Ice
vanilla bean ice
cream,
cream.
vanilla ice cream.
That's dirty.
That's
well,
just my favorite.
hope then was that you had vanilla ice cream because I didn't have time.
I don't
for
have
that.
an. Oh, that why explains why the plates and forks are here.
But we have a
Jesus.
cookies and cream cupcake.
All right,
Okay.
now she didn't tell me that cookies and cream was on the menu.
I know.
That's cake, though.
We have it is a sea salt or salted caramel
Oh,
cupcake.
boo. Yeah.
Cookies and cream.
Now hold on.
Salted caramel.
Sea salt goes on your legs
Chill.
at the pedicure.
I want to pee on it right now. I'm going to make sure I'm going to back up and Animal
or
Kingdom.
cherry pie.
Oh,
That's
at
right.
you.
So the cake versus pie.
Look at you.
I get
I
sad
have
every time I
feeling
see a
all
cherry.
the shit's gone
Why?
by the
Because I
end
keep
of the
forgetting
show.
I lost mine
I keep
Years ago.
a couple times.
So anyway, cake versus pie now.
Doobie Brothers.
Out of 3,045 votes at the time that I did this, 62% pie, roughly 38% cake.
Interesting. Yeah.
I know, I thought so too.
Pie lovers.
Thought so too. Well,
Oh, those pie lovers.
Well, think about it. You have apple pie, the idea of America, and blah blah blah, which I think is a bunch of horseshit because it's a bunch of chocolate. Like people eating
Blah,
chocolate like
blah,
all over the place.
blah.
But anyway, I would actually say pie as well.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when Thanksgiving rolls around and I do
Mm-hmm.
my little not really Thanksgiving dinner, and people are like, "Well, I want to bring dessert. What can I bring?" I'm like, "Well, you can bring pie." Like, "Oh, I'll bring pumpkin, no apple." And they're
Right,
like, "Well,
okay.
I'll bring the apple pie."
Sure.
You can bring whatever else you want to eat, but if you're coming to my house and you want to be nice to me, you bring an
But
apple
that's why,
fucking pie.
because there was a big thing he had said about apple, so I wanted to try something different. Do you remember I made that like an apple
I do.
Strudel?
strudel-y kind of thing, whatever,
loved
but
it.
it was
Yeah.
fucking delicious.
You bake
I am
apples and
gonna-
maybe throw some cinnamon there.
Cinnamon
You got me.
there,
So good.
exactly.
You got me.
exactly. And it
See,
was
that's what I do at
so
home.
delicious.
Like,
I did
I'll
a
just, like,
cherry one too.
If
Heat
they
up
made apple
peaches.
flavored crack, I'd probably be in.
See, I love peach. I love a peach pie. Peach
do
and
like
blueberry
peach.
pie with
Oh,
like
sure.
homemade
Oh,
whipped
look at-
cream.
I'm done talking about this
Apparently,
shit.
this just became a food show.
My aunt makes a banana cream pie on Christmas. We do a banana cream. We do a pecan, a pumpkin,
All right.
an apple.
Now-
We get like one of
that
everything.
alleged
Okay.
kitchen.
Now I will
Are you gonna share?
not share.
I will.
No, I mean
I have to get a knife. I did not get a knife.
if you force me
I know.
I will happily put the pecan pie in my mouth.
I enjoy the pecan pie.
Sure.
And maybe sing something pretty to you.
If you would like to put some on a plate.
Oh, that's fun. No.
I'm trying to toss to you, and I can't because you're gonna have a mouthful of cookies and whatever the hell that is.
God damn it! This
Well,
is good.
I'm just curious.
I want to change my vote.
Pie.
No.
For,
Cake.
for our listeners that are out
Cake in
there,
China.
I'm just wondering if what they like, cake or pie.
Oh, dude, join us in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, Tyler says banana split cake.
Banana split cake.
Harrison
I
says
bet
my
there's
friend
cherry
Sarah had
I've
a
never
wedding
had that.
pie instead of her cake at her wedding. That's good.
Oh,
That's nice.
That's interesting.
Tyler said turtle pie.
Turtle pie. No, I will tell you.
Turtle. Yeah. Turtle.
I'll make it sad for a second.
Turtle,
when my dad died,
turtle.
somebody brought turtle cheesecake pie
Yeah.
to me, or to the house, a plate.
To me.
Well, I'm the one that ate it, and they found out that it was making me feel better, and I was commenting that, it's a shitty week, but I feel better. You will not believe how many turtle cheesecakes showed up on day 2.
Oh, just because Al needed to be cheered up.
I ate every one of them. Here, get this.
What are you doing?
Passing it along.
Oh, just the whole. Can I open the entertainment segment? Al, do you think you can pull this off?
Fuck me running. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. By the way, as we go into the entertainment segment at 8:43 on this Tuesday night, we are now a mere $48 from the $20,000 goal, or not goal, the $20,000 number on our AIDS Walk team for this coming Sunday. So
weaponry has entered the room.
Yep.
Wham in Phoenix.
Yep. There you go.
Wham! In China. All right, entertainment news. Wham is no longer touring. Sad day. I have information on Julia Roberts being difficult to work with. Tina and Amy get a new job for 2 years. I have something nice to say about Miley Cyrus. Jurassic World gets a big score. Smash gets a staging of one of its shows. Entertainment Weekly addresses characters who don't change their clothes. Carrie opens this weekend, and then we will discuss American Horror Story and Walking and Talking Dead.
All righty.
And entertainment!
All righty.
All right, so the first thing, and I've had this for a while because I had to hunt around because of that thing that you were talking about Julia Roberts being difficult to work with,
being a crabby bee.
But then the funny thing was is you brought up like a boyfriend from like 27 years ago. So I'm like, okay, this has to be an old story, and for some reason it is on Entertainment Weekly, and it's about the filming of Hook from 1991. So like.
Oh, wow. That's a ways back.
And then everyone hated each other on that movie. So
you don't realize that 1991 is a ways back. I'm sorry.
So it cracked me up. So that whole article is about her after the breakup with either Kiefer to go with Jason Patrick or vice versa. And the fact that everyone on Hook hated each other. Robin Williams famously feuded with Steven Spielberg for the whole movie.
Hated each other.
Well, they just hated that movie. Everyone agreed. And people, when it came out, people were like, that fucking sucks. And for people that don't like Gwyneth Paltrow, that is her debut performance. She's Wendy. She's a little girl that's Wendy in the movie. But it really is because, and I was curious about it because, about your comment, because when she was up for her Oscar in 2000, knife or fork?
Knife, please.
Weaponry. When she was up for her Oscar, when they were giving the odds and they were saying, like, this is one of the most beloved people, not just to audiences, but coworkers all love her. They were like, everyone's going to vote for her. Like, they don't release the final tally for Oscar counts. But everyone in the thing that they were like, what's working against them? All 4 of the other actresses nominated that year were like, they're not Julia Roberts. So, I mean, I found that very strange. So that article that you're referring to, and I was kind of surprised, but it was from, it is about Hook. But the funny thing is...
So why is it just bubbling to the surface now?
I don't know, but it's everywhere. And I really did. I saw it like 3 different times.
Okay.
And it's like Dateline, 1990 or 90. I think it's 90. Like, it's really old. But funny. Just
we cut to Mary Hart from Entertainment Tonight doing the story.
It's a really strange story. So I don't know if somebody's like pissed off at her and decided to resurface the story because the feud between Robin Williams and Steven Spielberg was like legendary of them making fun of each other. And the fact that Robin Williams had to shave his arms every day and Steven Spielberg would make fun of Robin Williams for making Popeye, and he would give it back about 1941 or whatever that terrible movie was with John Belushi.
Yeah.
Like they went back and forth on like, don't talk to me about shitty movies, asshole. So a funny time and a lot of gossip from that, what was a terrible movie. Except for they did colorblind casting, and they made the Lost Boys multiracial, and it was like the first time anyone ever thought to not do an all-white cast with a movie about what was considered a white character.
Oh.
So that was Spielberg's big contribution to the culture, was that just because it says they're all white, you can actually cast someone of a different color. Yeah. Tina and Amy, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are set to host the Golden Globes for 2 years, not just one, but 2.
Yes, I love that.
Riding on a tide of of good reviews and just general good humor. Everyone loves them, and they were so funny. You know, they made fun of Jennifer Lawrence winning her Oscar, and they stumbled on their way up the stage. Like
That's fantastic.
They just have their finger on the pulse. Let's just say it.
Wham in China.
Wham in China. In a shocking turn of events, and this is really Wham in China. Everybody knows I watch Saturday Night Live no matter what. Like if I don't get to it maybe that week, I maybe wait a while, but I watch.
And have you
all
done
the
it
time.
always, forever?
Always, forever.
Whole life.
Like since the very first season.
All right.
Miley Cyrus
Yeah.
was actually funny.
As Michelle Bachmann.
As a couple did, but Michelle Bachmann was really funny.
Really funny.
And then when they
And
did
John
all the
Boehner.
different
God.
celebrities doing their auditions for 50 Shades
Yeah,
of Grey.
yeah, that was funny.
I will find it
agree.
and put it
I
on our
agree.
Facebook page. It was hysterical. And
was funny.
and Kate McKinnon, lesbian extraordinaire, is just the funniest fucking human alive.
I remember you saying that as far as...
Yeah, I didn't realize she was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She is brilliant week after week after
I
week.
did not see anything after the 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, and the one that played Mary Louise Parker holding the big Starbucks cup and sipping and going, is that really a man? It's like a half a man. I mean, they were all their imitations were dead on.
very
So funny.
funny.
And then Miley Cyrus's 2 songs.
You just did it. You
I
just did it. $20,058.
Oh,
We are now at. There you go, Barbara Seville and the wonderful
Beautifully
100.
Wham in China.
Wham in China.
Thank you for signing up, Katie.
We raised $20,000. Just us.
Double what the goal was.
I'm still
fantastic.
I'm still 1/10 of the 100.
Got it. Go ahead.
I'm not.
So, and I have to tell you, I am not familiar with the Miley Cyrus's music at all.
No, I'm not either.
But she did a song called Wrecking Ball that was perfectly legitimate, and then she did some other song about we're all whores or we're gonna have a party or.
Party in
But
the
she
USA.
did it with a midget on a guitar. Not lying. Google it. She had a midget on a guitar.
Party in the USA.
No, it wasn't that. It was
that
some.
one?
No, I think that's a couple years old.
Oh, that is a couple years old.
Yeah, no, this was she has a new album out. She's very popular.
Oh, the new album has a guitar with a dwarf?
No, the second song she performed on SNL.
Should I listen to you?
No.
Okay.
Because you won't understand anything I'm saying for the next 20 minutes. But I have to go with a live and let live with Miley Cyrus. I don't need all the news programs to cover her.
Yeah, I
but
don't
I thought
either.
she's okay. I mean, it was not bad. I laughed, not as hard as the first week, but it was still good. And Kate McKinnon, that's some funny shit.
I have to tell you that I can't really look at her very easily.
But you know what? She kind of
no.
looks like Matuna. I mean, honest to God, in that new haircut, she kind of looks like Herbert's 1987 Madonna True Blue. Like
she has too many fucking teeth.
No, but
she does.
No, she does.
Yeah,
she has
there's
too many,
something
and
weird
that's
happening.
why. That for me is like,
I know, but
John Elway's daughter. Or
I
something.
listen to the Captain and Tennille, so clearly I have no
No,
problem
no,
with
by
too
the
many
way,
teeth in your
I
mouth.
can go with that, and we have the albums as well.
Susie.
Yeah.
Fuck off,
So-
Katie. We'll explain that later.
So I gotta say, like
Gloria Steinem stuck up for her as well. I had.
I'm not saying she's not a dirty fucking whore. I'm just saying.
That's interesting. I'd like to hear that.
She did. I read that article, and she was just like, whatever.
Whatevs.
Yeah.
She's playing the game, and that was what I thought was the most interesting piece of it.
Yeah.
Was that she talked about the fact that, I wish we didn't have to be nude to be noticed, but given the game as it exists, women make decisions.
Yeah.
Miss America, the best or the most money that you can get for scholarship is through Miss America, and it's all based on how you look. And
In a bathing suit. Because there certainly isn't a fat girl out there.
No.
Rebel
I
Wilson's
try-
not showing up.
No, not at all. And that's
She has a lovely voice.
But the fact that Gloria Steinem, of all people.
Right, and I think that's
kinda
the main
step
problem.
forward.
And we've talked about that the main problem is Justin Timberlake puts on a suit, and all of a sudden he's grown up. She's got to take off her clothes and rub one off
Right,
with a foam
right,
finger
right.
for anyone to take her seriously. But then you look at the other side of it, and Justin Bieber, in his attempt to grow up, is a douche.
Totally.
Oh, he's horrible.
I mean, I'd rather kick him than look at him.
But
Peeing in buckets.
Seriously.
She's masturbating on stage, but he's vile.
She was on Ellen, Miley Cyrus was. And she wasn't difficult to listen to. I mean, she sounded.
I think in every interview I ever heard her in fact, just after she did the VMA, she did a thing and she's like, don't think I don't know what I'm doing. And she was very systematic. She goes, we're still talking about me.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was how many weeks ago? And we're still talking about
And good
her.
for her.
But the SNL was just a week ago, so I'm
No,
not.
no, I understand that, but
yeah.
I'm just saying that's still a topic of discussion. Of
I know,
Miley.
and I delete the View
Is that
every day. I still delete the View every day because I can't listen to another fucking thing, and then I just did it. So there you go.
Is that on my on demand? Can I watch it on demand or no?
Yes, you won't see her songs, but you can see it. Yeah, SNL's on demand every week. Actually, they play it. They play the best of every Saturday night before the new Saturday Night Live. You get last week's episode, an hour long. So
All right.
I mean, it's good, and it's always the thing they always get right is the news, the weekend update. Still funny, and I just saw it was all over CNN about them making fun of Kris Jenner and the cunt getting separated.
Oh, right.
And they went off for like a minute and a half, and everyone was like, how horrible is this? And it's like, no, it's actually
Kris Jenner.
funny.
Kris Jenner is the cunt. It's Bruce Jenner who's the member.
Oh, well, the one thing is they want to start looking like other people, not seeing other people. And,
well,
and he wants to explore his life as a middle-aged woman. Like he wants to. It's really funny.
But if you've not Googled his son, Brody Jenner.
Oh, Brody
goddamn,
is
he is.
There's like a new one every fucking week.
No. But before
because
Kris
there's
Jenner,
a boy Kardashian too.
No. Before the Kardashians came in, he has two sons, and he was been kind of estranged because she kind of isolated Bruce off from them. So though he was in
a freak,
but Brody
Jenner's a hottie.
He's been in the series, but yeah,
Paris Hilton.
He was on The Hills.
But he's a good-looking boy.
If only he made a sex tape, we'd know who he was.
Good-looking boy. Look up Brody Jenner. Continue on out.
And brother Brandon, also good-looking guy.
Well, Bruce, before the knife, before this weaponry hit him, was very
heck, he looks like his surgery was done with a butter knife.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
That is horrible.
It is bad.
And a photo of Lisa Rinna there to
and Rick Springfield could be put in that too.
Yes, he can.
Yeah.
So Nick Robinson, who is from The Kings of Summer, just got cast from that delightful summer movie that Tyler recommended. Just got cast in Jurassic World. So it's Steven Spielberg produced, but someone else is directing it. And just talking about just in general, that's going to be like the new. It was called Tigerland, and it's where we get Colin Farrell and I can't think what the other hottie's name is, but a movie that no one really saw, but it starred some like really talented people. But Colin, it's that kind of thing where you make that one independent movie that like the industry sees.
Yeah.
So Nick Robinson, who's just a cutie from Kings of Summer, got a big role. Smash.
Oh yeah.
In surprising news, Hit List, the fake second show that they decided to write, is getting 2 stagings at 54 Below in New York City. They were both sold out within hours. And when asked why they didn't do the Bombshell musical about Marilyn Monroe, they just said less money, that this was the cheaper of the 2 shows, which is what they said during the filming of the show.
That was the whole thing.
It was less expensive, so they're going to do it, and it may see a life. And I happened to, my iTunes picked a couple of the songs today from that, just to randomly listen to it. I had my iTunes on shuffle, and 2 songs from that show. I'm like, I'd go see that, but they're already sold out. So
that's really cool. I actually really liked. I liked both of the shows within the show, but I really liked Bombshell. I thought it was more of like a traditional. And it is more of a traditional Broadway show. I thought that would be so cool to see.
And the funny thing they did was the guys, Mark Shaman, and I can't think of who his writing partner is, but they wrote Hairspray, they wrote Crybaby, they write a lot.
The people who wrote Hit List?
No, they wrote Bombshell. And then what they did was so that the songs didn't sound similar, when there was going to be a different show with a different point of view, they brought in 2 other writers to write that show so that they wouldn't even sound similar from a different perspective. So that's kind of fun.
That was such a cool show.
Crybaby, wasn't that the movie that Johnny Depp was in?
Yeah, and they tried to have another Hairspray with Crybaby. I happened to see it in the week that it ran. I was in New York for the week that it ran, and it closed.
I never saw it. I have a movie
Nobody even
poster
know.
of
You
it,
were like
though.
one of the few.
Yeah, and it was really good, and I don't understand why it flopped.
Oh, it was good.
Like I could see it not having like a years and years long run, but it was good enough to at least play a week or 2. This week, Carrie, the first Stephen King book I ever read, and although it already has a brilliant TV version, except for it varies from the book quite a bit. The ending varies quite a bit from the book. They're doing a new version with. I always tell people, if Chloe Grace Moritz shows up, you just go.
Just go.
She's a young girl, but she has been making great choices.
And what else has she been in?
She was on 30 Rock for a while. She was in Let Me In. She was in Kick-Ass 1 and 2. Like, just I can't think of. She's had bigger stuff too. She was in Hugo. She's the little girl in Hugo.
Right. A movie was named Kick-Ass, and it was so good they had a 2.
Yeah, Kick-Ass 2, and Kick-Ass 2 kind of just tanked a couple weeks ago. It's the one that Jim Carrey was because it was children with violence. Even though it was very
he did not do any promotion.
He didn't do any promotion
right?
for
Okay,
it. He
got
kind
it.
of. I mean, not that it needed a sequel, and it's probably the only Nicolas Cage movie I will admit to seeing in the last 20 years.
Got it.
Besides adaptation. So that comes out this week, and I'm really curious if the point to it is to put the original ending from the Book of Carrie into the movie, if that's what they were going for. Because otherwise, Piper Laurie pretty much already got this done. Like Sissy Spacek and Piper Laurie, very few nominations for horror movies, and they both got nominated for that one. So we'll see how this one goes. And now this one's just funny. I'll try to do this really quick and see if this loads up. Entertainment Weekly, and I've been talking about Sleepy Hollow for weeks. That guy has not changed his clothes, and it's driving me fucking nuts. So Entertainment Weekly has a section called
You have been talking about that.
15 characters who haven't changed their clothes.
I love it.
Oh, this ought to be good.
So the one that they bring up first is Ichabod Crane from Sleepy Hollow. He awoke from a 200-year nap. So those clothes smell.
Yes.
He didn't just get them off the store, and he's been buried in that
Not just
shit
the clothes.
underground.
He's going to be pretty rank himself, even if he was nude.
There are hints that he has showered. There is
Linus Norgren.
There is talk that he has taken a shower. A bit more. So they're just saying, like, can we get to the 18th or 19th century, please? He's impressed by donuts and hairdryers. Why not blow his mind with a pair of comfy Lucky Brand jeans? So EP Alex Kurtzman tells us Crane will indeed keep his outfit as a reminder to the audience that he's a man displaced in time. It's like his security blanket. And then the other one that used to drive me crazy, and I actually forgot about it, so I hope that's the next one. So the Mentalist never changes clothes either. And Harrison, one day we were in Santa Monica and we ran into an actor and I couldn't tell you who he was, even though I ran flat into him and almost knocked him on the ground. It's the guy from The Mentalist. So if you're ever wondering.
Oh.
Because I honestly
The lead guy?
Yeah. Like seriously.
Australian.
Yes. He was in Devil Wears Prada, and that's what he was just in.
Okay.
And he was in because The Mentalist was going to start. We were there in September, and The Mentalist was going to start like the next week.
Okay.
It was just, he was obviously filming, but it was just funny because I'm like, him, and she's like, who?
Right.
And I seriously almost knocked him over.
You have more to come, right?
Yeah.
You got more.
A little bit.
We got more to come. It's the end of hour 2. One more hour to go. Coming up in the third and final hour on this Tuesday night, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we pose a question to the staff and management of this show and try to come up with an answer that is plausible. Katie's going to talk too later. Apparently the chat room doesn't think Katie's gotten to talk all night. You haven't listened to the first 2 hours of the show, apparently. But Katie's going to throw some more in here in just a little while. It's the show on a Tuesday night with Katie, Marnie, and Al. I'm Clayton McKee. We'll be back in just a few minutes right here on Q Talk America. Get yourself a beverage. The drinking phrase is WHAM in China.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, 9 o'clock. It's the beginning of hour 3, right here on the show with Q Talk America. I'm Clayton McKee. Thank you for being with us. We are here every Tuesday night, 7 to 10, Arizona time. We have beverages. We have food tonight, courtesy. Marnie Ryer brought us cupcakes.
Cake and pie.
And pie.
Cake and pie.
Katie and Al are enjoying wine. Is that a summer shanty? What are you drinking down there?
Lemonberry shanty.
Lemonberry shanty. And I, of course, have my Crown and Diet. We drink as we talk because that's just what you do with friends.
It just is.
It just is.
Well, I found out that the reason that I don't like my wine very much from last week that I'm still drinking is because it's a California Viognier, not an Austrian.
Well,
and
there
know
you have
how
it.
that is.
God,
No, because it tastes like grapefruit.
Fucking wham in China.
And there is nothing filthier to me than the taste of a grapefruit.
Wow, real nothing?
Grapefruit. I love grapefruit.
The only thing worse than grapefruit is peaches and olives. Like grapefruit is a strong third on things that will not go in my
enjoy
mouth.
peaches. I'm with you on the
I thought it was
olives.
going to say peaches and herb, but I realized that that's a 70s group.
Though all those three
Reunited,
things are
and it
three of
feels
my
so
good.
my
I keep
favorite
forgetting.
things. 2 fruits and a condiment.
I will
And a relish tray item.
I will never push
Pretty
you out
much,
of my.
Aaron.
I will never push you
I
away.
felt like that was going to be a vaudeville act. Two fruits and a condiment. 2 bits.
Black or green or both?
Anything. If it even smells like an olive.
Wow.
We are in the middle of Al's entertainment section, so we will continue with Al on whatever you're talking about
So the
now.
characters that would never change their clothes, and Doctor Who is on that list, but they changed Doctor Who, so I guess that's okay that he doesn't change his clothes. I don't know if when they changed it, because they changed Doctor Who's like every few years.
Okay.
Jeff Probst on Survivor. That's funny because that's a real person. He should wear
I
my
want to
clothes.
show you. I feel like if it was appropriate, and she was older than 16, she would totally be my new celebrity crush. This is Chloe Grace Moretz from Carrie. Is that picture not stunning?
No, she's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
16? I like that you're trying to sell me on a girl I've been trying to sell you on for a year.
I'm just saying she's
pretty.
So gorgeous.
And she's the
blonde.
next child actress to win an Oscar.
I love her so
I don't know
much.
what for yet,
Look, I'm all
but
like, she's blonde.
She's fantastic.
All right.
Okay, now Dexter Morgan, come on. That's his kill outfit. That's like picking on Batman for wearing the same thing. Fuck you.
I wish they had Batman on the list.
So they're only doing real characters, not like Fred Flintstone never changed.
No, they did.
Peter
The number
Griffin.
10 number 10 was all animation.
Okay,
constant.
got it. I'm like,
Okay, most of the Revolution cast, that's kind of funny because they haven't changed their clothes. But I'm trying to find the segue here. It's coming up. I went backwards. I don't watch that show.
oh, so we can't talk about it.
The Agent on S.H.I.E.L.D.
I have no
Okay,
idea
now
what
here
that
we
is.
are. Rick Grimes on The Walking Dead. Now, the thing that bothers me, and they say kind of for the same reason, but he was in sheriff drag for like 2 solid
That's
seasons.
true.
You're not a sheriff. Go find some fucking clothes somewhere. But he would always be in that sheriff's costume.
Yeah.
It was sheriff drag. It was so goddamn.
Sheriff
And it's one
drag.
of the reasons that I always hoped that he would die, and they kill off everybody but him. And I'm like,
They really do.
he is the.
I'm
Ellen
still sad about
Gray-
Lori.
What's her name? Ellen Pompey. What the fuck's that
Oh,
bitch's
yeah.
name? Meredith
Meredith
Grey.
Grey.
I stopped watching because they wouldn't
Meredith
kill her.
Grey, they've tried to kill her also a bunch of times. She like tied her ankle to a brick and jumped into the water, and she still came back.
And you should see what I do to her voodoo doll, and it is not fucking working. But, so now we're going to segue right into it. The Walking Dead, ladies and gentlemen. And even better, The Talking Dead. For those...
Was actually even better this time. This time.
No, but Nathan Fillion, remember? You
Yes.
were wondering who is this
Yeah,
guy?
yeah,
and I'm trying
right,
to talk
yes.
fan base, and he's a big, smart, hot geek.
And I love
Could
that they
we
have
love
the
him
executive
more?
producer. And I really, because I watched, okay, so I was going to have like a fun Walking Dead premiere party. Al was working. You were really like 1/3 of my premiere party. So when you were out, I just kind of said, well, I mean, there's no sense in inviting anyone else.
You'll watch alone.
But really, my family was like kind of not feeling super well. So anyway, it was fine. But I was texting with some people. We were like text watching together, you know, and I was, of course, pleased and like I was pleased with the opening, but it wasn't until The Talking Dead when we kind of started to talk about what we were setting up for the season.
Yeah, see?
You know, the show is so intense, and this first episode was mild. Didn't you think? Like,
Yeah.
It was, and there were some cool storylines. You know, it was like a couple cool little things, but it was really mild. But when we talked about what was going to be happening for the rest of the 16 episodes, which I think is a lot for Walking Dead.
Yeah, I think it's,
So there's
I think
17
it's 3
total?
more, I think it's 3 more than usual.
Yeah, it seemed like more. And I just loved how the executive producer was really kind of giving us little tidbits here and there. And
I felt like he was talking the fanboys off the ledge. Like, I really thought that The Talking Dead was like therapy for the fanboys. We're going to give you Nathan Fillion because of Firefly and Serenity and Dr. Horrible's sing-along.
Yeah.
Like, all the things that he in Castle, like, he's huge.
Yeah.
This guy is the biggest hit at Comic-Con every year. Like, he is the draw at
Yeah.
Comic-Con.
And
they
he's
tried to put him on
cute.
Desperate Housewives for a season because they wanted boys to watch it because he has such a draw. But they made him a gynecologist.
so
Not
sorry,
what
boys.
we're looking
yeah.
for.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it didn't work.
But he was really into it. I
Into
liked
it and had great theories and great acting theories, but you could tell they needed therapy because this was a very cerebral kind of episode. A lot of threads, and you could feel like, oh, we're just gonna.
It was
we're
bubbling.
Just gonna set people
Oh,
up.
but the very end of the first
creepy
episode
shit,
was
creepy shit.
so
You'd have loved it. It had a rat in
good.
it.
Well, in the end, so we can like we can speak.
Oh no, that end. Okay,
We can speak freely
Give it a
because we can speak freely, right? Because we're spoiler alerting.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
But my friends and I who were text watching it were going, because at the very end you have this character, because everyone has this zombie disease inside of them, and so if you die in any capacity, it doesn't matter if you're bitten by a zombie, if you die, you will return as a zombie. You have to be shot or stabbed in the head your brain has to be killed in order to not come back as a zombie.
I'm glad there are the clarifications for all this because I was worried.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Okay, so here's the thing. But you used to have to at least die in some form. Well, this kid at the very end of this show goes to he's got a fever and he goes to take a shower. He's trying to cool off.
He coughs in the water supply.
He coughs in the water supply and he collapses on the ground, bleeding from his eyes and ears and nose. So the creepy thing is that it's nighttime. He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back as a zombie and he's gonna start attacking people in the camp without them knowing. But how did he get sick?
Well, we've been waiting for flu season to hit these people. I mean, the flu hasn't been eradicated.
And do you think the flu would kill him, or is it?
No, but there's something else.
Something like that.
I think it's going to be like yellow fever.
You don't think it was already in the water?
No, I just think there's some.
It was good. It was really good.
Yeah, it really was. TB is going to make a return. You know what I mean?
That's what I thought. That's what I said to one of my friends. It's yellow fever.
Yeah.
Right.
And they said maybe it's in the water already, or there's something already,
or anybody that's
contaminated.
TB is from being in close quarters with people, dirty water, all that kind of stuff. TB.
And you thought you felt sick.
Yeah. So then
it's the whole thing, and then it goes back to the whole thing where Rick for so long was trying to keep all these people out, and then realized, no, we need people to help to survive. We need a bigger camp, but really. They don't need a bigger camp because now the bigger
Native
camp
Americans
is going
letting the white people in with the smallpox. Not a good idea. Kill them. Dirty blankets. So now you have somebody inside that's infected. But the funny thing is the openings. One of the openings, I think it was the opening scene after the break when they came back from the credits.
Oh yeah.
They had Maggie in bed with WHAM in China.
Oh yeah.
And he's my favorite character, and I never remember his name.
I know he's Chinese.
Let's call him Ken.
WHAM in China works.
So they're in bed together and they're talking about starting a family, and she's like, I don't think I can, or he thinks they shouldn't have a baby during the apocalypse, and she's like, well, we can't live in fear. And the comedian that hosts The Talking Dead was so always pull out in the apocalypse. And it was just so funny. It's everyone was like, oh, that's gross. But it's good advice.
Yeah. Oh, is it always?
Yeah. So
I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I learned.
Mm-hmm.
And then Clara in the woods was kind of, and this is that writer that I told you I liked, because in his last episode, Clear, is where they see the hitchhiker, and you don't know, and they don't help the hitchhiker, and you kind of see Carl turn to evil.
Yes.
Oh,
Carl. I just don't know about Carl again. I'm back on I don't know about Carl bandwagon.
Oh, he's still fucked up.
I don't know about Carl bandwagon.
He's still fucked up. But this one, it's Clara, the woman in the woods that I would have never helped her. She is clearly batshit crazy.
Well, she looked like, I was freaked out, and I think that they mentioned this on Talking Dead, that there was all of a sudden an animated zombie. She can talk and think.
That movie Warm Bodies.
Yes, that's what I that's
really
what
clever.
I thought was. I was like, oh my god, this bitch is a zombie and she talks.
Glenn is the Asian's name. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's
Carl.
And that's exactly how I feel when I watch that show, because he's so fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty crazy, that one. And then but I appreciated how it strung you along the whole episode, because I kept going, what are they going after? What's happening? What are they doing out in the woods? I thought maybe I wondered if there was going to be I thought that she was keeping a zombie is what I thought all along, but that he was going to, attack what's his face, Rick, and
but that it was just the head.
So weird.
But he needed to eat. But it was just a head.
Yeah, in a bag.
In a bag.
And it was just a head in a bag.
What's in the box? Tell me what's in the box.
And then
that's my Brad Pitt imitation.
Head in a box. It's
Another
just a
child.
head in a box.
Just a dick in a box.
Put my dick in a box. So that was very good. But I really thought The Talking Dead was brilliantly executed for those people that were clearly going to be on the ledge about a more talky Walking Dead, but very
because I don't
done.
want a talkie Walking Dead. I want a Walking Dead zombies, murders.
Well, now that you know the call is coming from within the house,
maybe
it's even scarier. Now they're all locked in with the zombie, and they don't know it. They won't know till the morning.
Yeah, until people just start getting munched.
And he kills off people. I mean, the pretty much dead already, the Sophia's in the barn episode, as I like to call it.
Oh, that's.
I mean, they killed off so many characters in that episode.
I randomly, because they were doing AMC was doing old Walking Deads leading up to it, and even a few days ago, and I randomly turned on AMC and I came upon that episode, and I was just so happy. It was that's
brilliant.
My favorite episode.
That just a brilliant episode. And then American Horror Story Coven started,
which is so good. I know there's only been one, right?
Yeah, one episode.
Okay, because I was hoping I didn't miss the second
Wednesday nights on FX at
10 p.m.
10 p.m. The opening 5 minutes, 6 minutes with
My new favorite girl, Vera
Wang.
No.
Yep. Nope. Definitely
Wham
not
and
her.
Kathy
China.
Bates. Kathy Bates
Oh,
in the opening
yeah.
scene made Misery look like a comedy musical in 3 acts.
Oh, yeah.
Actually got on the coffee table and then faced the other way. I could not watch any more of that opening scene.
Oh.
It was so disturbing, so graphic, and so like, oh, these people are fucked in the head.
Oh, yeah. She was real fucked up.
And then the episode, I mean, just great actress after great actress. And how good does Angela fucking Bassett look?
Yeah. Insanely good.
How old is Angela? Let me look that up.
I don't know, but she looks like $1 million.
Look up
She
all
looks
Angela
fantastic. And Kathy Bates just plays batshit crazy better than any human on earth.
Well,
Yeah,
She was terrified. It was terrifying.
She was real creepy. Yeah, and
I
just,
watched it in the daylight, and I was
I
scared
did
out of my
too. I actually
mind.
just watched it today because I hadn't seen it yet, and I was excited about it. But I'm just so excited for the whole episode. Actually, the whole season. It makes me want to go back and watch Asylum, which I didn't. I watched the first 2 episodes of Asylum, and I just couldn't get on board.
It was a little scatter while, but it got it done.
But this first episode of American Horror Story Coven, so fucking good.
Yeah.
I literally can't wait for Boy Parts because you know who they're bringing back, of course.
She's 55. Angela Bassett's 55.
Wow. She looks like 20s.
She literally looks.
Black don't crack.
She looks incredible.
Yeah.
Plus, she's standing next to Kathy Bates a lot, so that helps.
Right.
She does the share thing. You know what I mean? Put the
But
other
they're
people
bringing
next
that
to
boy
me.
back, right? The blonde.
Oh, Evan Peters. Yeah, he's gonna come back
be
as
the boy parts
Frankenstein.
that they build.
Oh yeah, which is good because he's.
I
always
loved how
hot.
she fucked that guy to death.
Oh,
at the
twice.
end.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Is it
so
a
good.
grudge fucking?
It was
Yes,
a grudge fucking.
It was. It was a right good grudge
Against the
fucking is
stump?
what it was.
I mean, we had
Nope.
little hints. There was little hints of Carrie in
Sorry,
there.
brother.
There was
Yes, yeah.
there was,
and also in Glee, the last Glee, 2 Glees ago, I don't think we talked about. There was that Carrie moment.
Oh
which
my god!
Yeah,
and it
which
must
is
be
good.
because I have a mental disorder. Glee last
the
week
farewell episode
was unbearable.
It was good.
It was so real. It was just way too honest. Like I need a little bit of distance between me and my TV, and I don't mean like physical distance,
okay.
but
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't recorded.
It started off very sad but appropriate, and then I just feel like they turned the camera on Jane Lynch and just let her improvise as to like, oh my god, it was heart-wrenching when she was doing her thing about like, I was always mean to this kid. I was always shitty, and somebody's like, well, maybe it's a life lesson. She's like, there's no life lesson. There's a dead kid that I was never nice to. And it was just, it was so like brutally honest.
I feel like I want to punch myself because I was half drunk and half working and half fighting with my mom about something. God only knows what.
Then watch it
and
again.
I need to go back. And Kelly said the same thing. She's like, I recorded it for you. You and your mom wouldn't stop talking. And she's like, you're going to want to go back and
But
watch
it's tough.
this.
And I don't know if I could have watched that with other people because it was just so like close to all of where, I mean, they're talking about a real person and a friend of theirs. And, you know, Jane Lynch was playing a character, but still, like, the fact that there's no lesson to be learned here. And I thought the parts with Puck were a little, he may not be the greatest actor. And, you know, he was doing an actor-y kind of thing, maybe trying to avoid just playing himself. But then, just when
Naya Rivera was really moved.
Really good.
Really
good.
moved by the whole thing.
And then...
you wonder, how much of that is a character. I feel like more of the people's tears and emotions were them.
Oh, and then, right.
I don't feel like she wasn't crying in her character because her character wasn't even that close to him. She was crying
and
as
I think she was trying to be the surrogate for the girls. You know, Heather Morris just had a baby. She wasn't going to come back, I guess.
Oh, and what's-her-face couldn't.
I guess, yeah, she's filming a movie, so she was unable to come back. Quinn.
Quinn Fabray.
Oh, so she wasn't able to come back.
Which is interesting because they were lovers the whole first
when
season.
it started,
so
right.
I think Santana just kind of represented the cheerleaders.
Okay.
They just picked her out to represent them. But her song was so good that If I Die Young. And then... just when you thought the world wasn't ending enough, they brought in Leah Michele. And actually, the scene where Corey and
Matthew Morrison.
Nope. Hummel. Kurt
Hummel.
Oh, Chris?
Kurt. When Kurt and the
mom and the dad.
The mom
that
and the dad.
I was listening to that scene. That was really good.
When Kurt and the parents were going through his stuff, and then the mom just broke down, and she's like,
I didn't even think about that.
She's like, even with a dead child, you're still a parent. She's like, I don't know how to stop being a parent. She's like, I just don't have a child anymore. And like, they were just.
You can't tell me Kurt didn't look up and say, but I'm here.
Oh no, but it was like snot bubbles because, like I
totally.
said, there was no distance between any of these people.
I cried in the very first opening.
Oh, the Seasons of Love. Yeah.
Get Real. I was like, that was the one part I was like actually paying attention to, and whoa! And they had like the newest cast and then the older cast, and I thought Leah Michele would come out then, but I was like already in tears, and it was 25 seconds into the show, and I was like, oh god.
So then like they're talking about the memorial to him at the locker being kind of cheesy, and that's when they bring in Leah Michele. It was towards the end, and she's like, I wanted to see this. And like she like stands there and appreciates it, and then she's like, I have a song to sing, and she sings to make you
feel my love.
Make you feel my love, the Adele song. Oh, and you could and she cries when she sings Mary Had a Little Lamb. You know, she's so good at crying, singing. But you could see that she was like real. And then I guess it was the first thing they filmed. I read later that was the very first thing they filmed was her just singing that song. And them in the audience just sobbing, like everybody sitting in the choir room, like breaking down. And I was snot bubbles. I was seriously, like my shirt was wet. I went through like half a box of Kleenex.
It is really emotional. Let me ask you.
So, I mean, I'm getting this, but it was done well.
Beautifully
done. Tastefully.
Very,
like,
very
there
well.
wasn't any part of it that was
no,
like, oh,
no. And there was
good.
just the part where I think Puck made the choice to like not play it like him, but to try and be maybe to make it easier on himself. I don't know, but I thought that was a little forced. But then I cry at this song in grocery stores. Like if I'm in a grocery store walking down the Triscuit aisle and you start playing Fire and Rain but I always thought that I'd see you one more time again.
Oh, I love it.
I just sob in grocery stores, and they all sat around and sang it with a guitar and sang Fire and Rain, and I'm like,
I cry.
Come on, people.
If I Die Young makes me cry every time since I had Palmer, because then I like really think about like the words and what happens, and I'm like a mess.
Do I know that song?
I die young, bury me outside.
Bury me in satin.
Bury me in satin. Lay me down in a bed of roses.
We're gonna have to pay for it. No,
I never.
Not that
good.
version.
Yeah.
Who's that by?
It's a group called. That's a country group.
Yeah.
Lady Antebellum. And then Sam Suey redid it, and the Sam Suey's where I learned it, because that cute kid can sing anything to me.
Yeah,
it's a really good song, and honestly, just that song outside of any context is very sad. It's heartbreaking.
And I had never heard it, so I was a wreck. By the end of the hour, I was like, all right, they need to have grief counselors outside my door.
Let me ask you. Let me like really ask you this though, because I think this is weird. I don't know why so many people, and you for one, like, and I'm a Glee fan, and I know that you're a fan, but kind of, knock the show, and it's funny, but whatever. But why is it that I wonder so many people were so affected by the death of Corey Monteith? And like me, myself, when an actor dies, I'm like, oh, okay, an actor died. I don't know why I was so
he was just
emotionally
so young and hopeful
invested.
Looking. He looked so
in him.
Yeah, and he seemed so positive. Like everything about him, he seemed so grateful for the fame. Seemed friendly to the fans. We met him that night.
Yeah, he was so wonderful.
And he was so nice. Like it just seemed like a nice, and death is sad for anybody, but when you think someone, you just have that impression that someone is nice and you're 31.
Down to earth.
It never strikes you as anything but a waste. Like someone, it doesn't matter. And this is just someone that I watch the show constantly. Like this girl at work was like, I don't know why you cried so much. I didn't cry. And I'm like, I don't really give a shit what happened to you. Like,
right.
And I'm like,
well,
I watch the show every week.
You're a cold bitch.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've let this person into my home, and I watch it faithfully every week. I buy most of the songs. Like, I'm invested in this.
Oh.
And I can't imagine being 26 years old and having to play a character whose boyfriend dies, and it's really your boyfriend that died. Like, I can't get my head around that.
No,
I
that'd be hard.
Can't.
The very next day, when we were driving the car, and I had Shuffle on the iPod, and it came on the song that he and Puck sang, "Only the Good Die Young." And I was just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It was like, it came on, and I'm going, oh my God.
Sure. Oh, Tyler says it's the group, the band.
Oh, the band Perry.
The band Perry, my bad.
That's what it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Tyler.
But it is
Lady Antebellum is so good.
Lady Antebellum is that one
the
where
band Perry is good too.
It's 1 a.m. and I'm drunk and I shouldn't call you. That
But
song.
I did.
But I did, yeah. Okay.
I can see where you might identify.
Thank
The
you,
band
Tyler.
Perry has a couple of really, really, really fun songs, actually. If you're looking for like
but
some
clearly
good
they're
fun
country western if one of their songs is called "If I Die Young." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, they tug at the heartstrings. And
Yeah,
they
exactly.
win.
There's
They
a-
win.
It does.
There's gonna be a dead dog in there somewhere. But now so we hit $20,000 and I hit $2,300 on my AIDS Walk page.
So
the link is earlier if you go to older messages and you haven't donated to the great and glorious cause, not the South during the Civil War. Danger of homonyms.
Still happens.
Wham in China.
Wham in China.
Right.
All right, so there it is. I mean, just exciting TV. I watched Homeland twice, 3 times, and I still don't understand what the hell this episode was about. So I'm going to need a Talking Dead about Homeland.
Have
this
there
week.
been 2?
3. We're on episode 3.
I think I only saw episode 1.
Yeah.
Well, going home tonight to do that.
It was very baffling. I mean, it was kind of like people in captivity taking drugs, I think was the theme, but I'm not sure if that's what I was supposed to get out of it.
All right, cool.
Or that Ray Charles did a lot on heroin. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, there's that.
Did you ever watch The Fringe? Really, really quickly. The Fringe, was that ever a thing that you were into? The Fringe?
Yeah, but I left.
When it got really weird in sci-fi. I hope that doesn't happen to Homeland. Like, I hope it doesn't get too weird for the viewers to even, like, pay attention.
No, I don't know. Homeland's not like that. Homeland is just, they're just going through some kind of, and that's another thing. We're obviously building on how we're going to get Carrie and what's-his-face
Back together.
Yeah. But last night's episode, and I thought, is it flashbacks? Like, what is this episode? Like, where are we finding Damian Lewis? Now I can't think of his real name. And I can't think of his name on the show. Cody? No. I don't know. But I can't figure out how they're going to get them back together. But last night's episode was just so weird. I had to seriously, I was on my 3rd watching before. I'm like, oh, it all went in order.
Oh, and Scandal. You watched that one too?
No, I don't watch that one.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
I got sucked into that one a week or so ago. I just caught like midway through one episode. I'm like, holy
Harrison
shit.
hates that
Oh
show.
no, Harrison, why?
No, hates it.
Tell us
hates
why.
It, hates it.
No, because I don't watch anything else.
Yeah,
I might be
haven't
missing
seen
something better. I just happened to catch this one. I thought it was good, but I also won't waste. I also won't commit to
Sun-dried
it.
basil.
So I know that that's not going to happen.
Also, hey Donnie, he's
it's Donnie?
Donnie
Hi,
from
Donnie.
Okinawa. He's up in here. Says he's been missing us, and we've been missing you, Donnie.
Donnie had his parents visit him for his last stretch. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but his last stretch in Okinawa.
Oh.
He's coming home in December.
He's coming home like to here to Phoenix.
Yeah, to Phoenix.
Oh, I can't wait to like.
He's gonna
let's
come in
all
and
go
play with
out.
us when he gets back.
That could be very
Oh my
cute.
gosh, I'm excited. Donnie,
He'll be so
yay.
let down.
I know. He doesn't have us on the TV thing, right?
I have no idea.
No. He only
gonna be
listens to the
fun.
audio stream, as I understand it.
How fun to
That's
have
very
him in
cool.
studio.
Our international guest. That's exciting.
I love it.
Now, Katie, are we moving into a sports thing with you? Or what
We
do
have a couple little
we
sports,
do?
and then but they'll be quick because I know we'd only have a little bit of time. This week in sports. Washington Redskins fans are all fired up. Boxer Orlando Cruz fights for equality over and over and over. And the Cardinals fans and the players are a little bit miffed by their unwelcoming Giants. That and no more this week in sports.
Okay.
There are actually 2 other stories.
Oh, well, stories that I
Hour 6.
don't know. But I will tell you, so the Washington Redskins, you probably heard this, there's this big naming controversy.
Yeah.
And, essentially there is I don't have the name of the Oneida Indian Nation, which is up in Washington, is all pissed off about the team using the term Redskins as their.
It has been they've been mad for a long time. This is not new.
But
they're the mascot,
right?
Or whatever.
But it's really coming to light lately, and they're getting a lot of pressure. From a lot of places. The president actually even weighed in on it. Bob Costas weighed in on it, and they all kind of said, look, I mean, if you have a community in your area that's so upset about this, let's just make the change. My dad
He has to peak.
Yeah, my dad in the background's going, fuck Theo. My dad was like pissed. He's like, that's fucking stupid. He was like really unhappy. And I kind of get it.
When your dad's drinking days, is that what that was?
Yeah, last week.
It was yesterday.
And yep. And
good to know.
I just, I don't know. I wonder what your guys' take is. I think that it really goes, takes it to the next level when Bob Costas, who's actually, announcing, he's doing the play-by-play on a Redskins game, and he takes the time during that game to talk about it.
And a very,
he was an impassioned, kind of cry, and he basically said, you should change the name. This is not appropriate.
It's time. And
the president said the same thing.
There's no good connotation to Redskin. There never has been. It's been we were talking last week or maybe 2 weeks ago about the Kansas City Chiefs. No. They don't have anything. They have a flag as their. They don't actually have a picture of a Native
Did they
American.
used to have
but they used to do the tomahawk chalk. Tomahawk.
Atlanta Braves also.
Yeah, the Braves did.
They were highlighting on the news. They were highlighting the logo changes. Some of those changes.
And the Braves, it was just because the Brave on the Atlanta Braves looked semi-retarded. Or was it the Cleveland Indians?
That's the Indians.
One of them looks slow.
I thought it was the Indians.
You just got to admit it. They look like they're,
It was very cartoony. A
Delayed.
Cartoon.
Yeah.
Cartoon face. Well,
Is that better?
president...
I think that's more insulting to call someone delayed.
The president of the Redskins has said, absolutely no way in hell. You can put it in all caps. He said, we are not changing the name of this team. So we'll see where it ends up. I don't know that there's been any other developments since the end of last week.
We call the Washington shutdowns.
No, I think was it the Onion? I think I forwarded you the link. It was funny that because it's they were talking about the name was so offensive that they actually decided to call themselves the DC Redskins because Washington was so offensive.
To people. That's awesome.
That was very funny.
Yeah,
more offensive than Redskins.
So we are where I graduated high school, the Henry Sibley Warriors, and it's the same as the Redskins, the same. Whatever.
But Warrior's not a bad connotation.
No, but they wanted us to change it as well. It became a thing with any kind of using Indian or Native American, anything.
As I mean, and it makes sense because when are you going to do like the Chicago Blacks? Right, like the Black Hawks, but that you're not going to do, which is another Indian thing.
Are the birds having a problem with it? They just want to drop the Hawks and just be the Blacks?
No, but I'm saying if you're using that, the so-and-so Indians or the so-and-so Native Americans.
So, but
when you target
Chicago Blacks, I think would be a problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Different symbol.
But I'm saying that you would never do that.
Same shooting.
WHAM in China.
Right?
Bill
You'd
Cosby.
never say the Phoenix, Mexicans.
The
That's not
Wetbacks.
like a logo. That's not like a team
Phoenix
name.
Mexicans would be one thing. If you called them the Phoenix
Wetbacks.
Wetbacks, that's what. That's the connotation.
But even
I'll go to a game.
But even the idea,
he's a recruiter.
Even the idea of doing like the so-and-so Native Americans, it's just weird to target in on or to like have one specific community be your like logo or your. I don't know.
An old friend of mine who
at
was
the same time, I feel like a little bit get over it.
Yeah, an old friend of mine who was from Minnesota. His team was called the Raiders, and they had a pirate on there, and somebody was offended by the pirate.
Arg.
So they changed it to a raccoon. Because they are garbage raiders. But I had to ask, and this is back in '92.
So they were called the Coons?
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
Unintentional WHAM in China.
Wait a minute.
So this was like 94, 95 when political correctness had just reached a new level of stupidity. And I was like,
which it continues to do
is the
yearly.
pirate community offended? Arr. But my thing with that, though, like squaw, you had 200 years to tell us that was a bad word because we all thought it meant girl. And this is coming from like one of the largest, the Iroquois Tuscarora tribe in Niagara Falls, one of the biggest Native American populations to one of the other biggest populations, the Pima Indians. No one had ever said squaw was a bad word. No one mentioned it. You had time to bring it up.
Exactly, right.
And then all of a sudden one day squaw was a bad word. We found out in Arizona, we changed the name of that mountain in like 3.2 seconds. You're calling people redskins.
Right.
It's derogatory. There's no way to get around that. But you have the senators. Who else? There's the Capitals, right? No,
Capitals?
The senators, the Capitals.
Washington teams?
Washington teams. Because they have all, even though it's a city of like 6 square feet, they have all
baseball,
4 sports teams.
Hockey, basketball, not the Wizards. Washington Wizards?
But I think that's the state of Washington.
State of Washington?
Yeah, I don't know if they have a but I know they have like 3 majors.
I don't know if they do. Well, yeah, 3 for sure. But
For
I
sure.
don't, because the Wizards, I feel like that's in California,
Maybe there's something you can find besides redskin.
Yeah.
Like pick a tribe near there. You know,
If they're like the Salem Wizards, would that be bad?
Washington Oneidas. Why not the Washington Oneidas and make the picture look like an Oneida?
The Washington Obamas.
I like it.
What's an Oneida?
But why
It's
in
the
the
tribe
world?
that's objecting.
The Oneida
It'll
tribe.
be just like Squaw Peak, though.
Well.
I'd never tell you I'm going to go to Piestewa Peak.
Right.
And you know what's funny is they haven't changed the street names up there.
Oh, no, yeah. Squaw Peak next
Oh,
left.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, Squaw Peak.
It still says Squaw Peak
That's
second
funny.
left.
But they haven't as far as Piestewa Peak going up the 51.
Yeah, on the 51.
Right, but I mean, if you're in the neighborhood on
Just for
on
that.
the streets, on the
That's
surface streets,
really
That's funny.
funny.
yeah, it's still.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
And the park I think is still called the Dreamy Draw is there,
Pitch
but
Peak,
it's
next left.
Squaw Peak Parkway. Yeah.
So Orlando Cruz, we all know Orlando Cruz. He's the gay boxer. He's been open and out for a little while, but now he is he is fighting to be the first openly gay world champion, and he's taking on his opponent in rainbow shorts. So really,
I saw the picture of him in those shorts.
So this is actually. These are not the shorts that he's going to be wearing during the boxing
Was
match.
that the weigh-in?
Sadly, no.
No,
Not
but
filling
this
him in
was
either.
weigh-in press. This was the press
saw.
conference, to say like, hey,
He's
this
certainly
is
not filling
actually
him out.
No, there's a
Kind of
gaping hole.
embarrassing.
yeah.
I think he's an innie.
Is actually the outfit that he'll wear, much more appropriate than like a little Speedo for a boxing
Depends
match.
on who you ask.
But
I know
don't
because
think
it looks like
I
the
just-
things that you line a coffin with.
But look at this is
If
his
I die
cute
young.
boyfriend, right? He's got like a cute boyfriend.
Grandpa on the right?
Yeah. He's cute.
Clayton, there's hope.
He's cute.
Thank you for bringing it for
Stop
Al's last week on the show.
Oh, yeah, because that's the first old joke I've ever made.
No, but I don't.
70 shows in.
They're
More than
marrying later this year, by the way.
Well, if
getting
he survives the fight,
Yeah.
I don't particularly care for that rainbow. I don't care for
Rainbow
that.
get up.
No, that he's wearing that poncho, whatever the hell that thing is called that he's wearing.
He
I don't-
wears rainbow shorts. This is not going to be the first time though. Like he wears them. He's worn them before, and this is how he chooses to show his pride and say like I'm so happy to be out.
And they're all in colorful satin. I mean, they all pretty much look like they're strippers.
His thing is, I was in the closet for so long, and I feel so good. I'm so happy, and here's how I'm gonna like stand on my soapbox and be proud.
I think the rainbow shorts is one thing, but I think he's putting a cape. This whole whatever the
Right.
hell that is. I don't know. I just
Is
think
it
it's
going
a
to get
little
like the mask?
It's a
you
little
know,
more
like,
in your face.
Jack Black did.
Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre.
Nacho.
I don't know. I just think
Let it go.
it's a little more over the top in your face. That it's just like, okay, we don't need you being an example of that. Don't look like an idiot. Just be a normal
Well, this
person.
they
and
all
go.
have these things.
Homo libre.
He takes that off to fight, but they all wear the crazy.
Right, but it looks like he's walking to the WWE ring with know Harry the Hitman Herman or whatever the fuck their names are.
He's Orlando the Big Gay Cruz.
Right. CRUISE.
Rosie O'Donnell.
He is Homo Libre.
Homo Libre. Oh.
Homo Libre.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that 5 points.
Anyway, it's cool and it's exciting that he's so proud to be gay and
He
he's out
is.
there working it out.
Do we have an age on him? What do we remember? He's got to be in his
22.
early 20s.
That guy is
52.
Gosh,
99.
I just
not 99.
someone Google 32.
Oh, he's older than I thought.
Yep.
Highway miles and city miles. There
And
we go.
Harrison has
32.
the Nationals. It's the Washington Nationals.
Okay.
Well done. Thank you.
So the last piece is, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, although I've heard it on the radio a number of times over the last few days.
Calais Campbell.
Calais.
Looks like
Calais Campbell.
Okay.
But I feel like it's Calacious or something weird. Campbell. He's a player for the Arizona Cardinals, and they were out in San Francisco over this last weekend playing a little football. So
Not like out, like, hey, they weren't out. They were just
no.
out. Okay.
So there was
Good.
one
That'd be a
moment that
big
he
story.
actually had a really serious, he was seriously injured on the field. It was a neck injury.
yeah.
And it was really like a scary moment. And I was listening to a news story that said that the trainers didn't just run out on the field. It wasn't like the trainers in warm-ups. It was like the doctors in suits like went out and put the neck brace on, like braced him.
Yeah, any neck injury now, they take that
Put
very
him
seriously.
up onto the backboard, and it's serious stuff.
Okay.
So while, of course, this was some downtime in the game, and it took a while because they were really concerned about him. He couldn't move his legs. It was a whole thing. And the fans in Giants Stadium thought that this was the appropriate time to start the wave. So while one of the
Yes.
Cardinals players is being looked at for a potentially life-threatening injury, career-ending, paralyzing injury, the Giants fans are doing the wave and cheering, and it's all really good.
The 49ers.
I'm sorry, 49ers. My apologies.
No.
And
The
so,
Giants have nothing to do with the wave over this year.
At all.
At all.
Yeah.
So really, so even the 49ers players were getting in the mix and going, you need to stop this, get real. Like, please stop doing the wave. This is so disrespectful. And the Cardinals players were like, what the hell? It was pretty serious. There were a number of people weighed in. A lot of the team CEO said so disappointed that the fans did the wave this afternoon while he was down. Or my disappointment, that's an understatement. Hope you get well soon. A lot of the players were getting in. To all the fans that did the wave while a player was on the field getting carted off, I was embarrassed for you, disrespectful. And those are all 49ers that are like, get real. So anyway, it was kind of a sad situation, just poor sportsmanship. And is it a matter of poor sportsmanship, or is it just that people have such small attention spans that you can't just sit there? Like, is it really they just got bored and they're like, well, how are we going to entertain ourselves? We're dumb shits, while there's like a a man's life is potentially at risk.
But and if it had been a home team player, they would have been riveted because when you see it, if you watch a game and they do
or
it,
if you've ever been to one,
they do a little bit with an opposing team's player, but when your home team guy gets up and walks off the field unaided,
and he didn't get off, and
the whole crowd stands up and cheers.
Oh, of course, yeah. He didn't get up.
So
he was carted
that's
off.
how close they watch a home.
He was carted off. Now, just before he was just exiting on the backboard, he did raise his arm and give a thumbs
Did everybody
up,
go nuts?
and everybody cheered. So, which is positive.
They
but
stopped
just
the wave for
they
just a
stopped the
second.
wave,
Yeah,
but
right.
just kind of some silly,
I was watching that
poor
and I thought,
sportsmanship a little bit. Whether you intended to be poor or not, you
And
were.
and when
San
did that happen
Francisco.
in the game? Because I don't remember that part. I was working.
I do not know.
Because if it's in the fourth quarter, they're drunk.
Oh,
Well, no, I thought that was going to be another factor too. I mean, how much booze are we talking about?
yeah. No, I actually don't know when it happened, but kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it?
Oh wait, no, Marnie has
Marnie's
two.
got something. What?
Just two quick things.
Go.
One, the Minnesota Lynx
Oh shit!
won
Yes.
the WNBA.
Oh, very exciting.
Oh.
So,
Which is great.
Albeit that the Mercury lost to them.
Which
at least
I like that.
No. But
Like
I, mean,
I
at
feel
least
like
it's the
if my team is going to lose, I want them to lose to the best team.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
A little bit of pride in there.
Yeah.
absolutely. So we were there when that happened.
And
in
Maya Moore
Minnesota.
got. Did you guys go to the game? Maya
No,
Moore. I'm sure it was sold
Gina
out.
did.
now.
Yeah, and had a great time. Yeah.
Maya Moore got MVP of the
good.
playoffs. She's stupid good.
Good.
So yay, Maya.
Nice.
Good for
Nice.
them.
So that was fantastic. The fact that we had to dig through CNN and through everything to try to find out who won, for sure, was really a fucking
You need to
shame.
go to ESPN 2. El Ocho.
Ah.
Yeah.
If it's almost a sport, it's on El Ocho.
The other story,
Wham in
sports
China.
story, sad, Minnesota as well. But did you guys hear about Adrian Peterson's son?
Yes, wasn't that
No,
sad?
what happened?
His 2-year-old son was beaten to death
By
the
Baby
woman-
mama brother or boyfriend.
boyfriend. And it's a child that he just found out about just a couple of months ago. He wasn't aware that he had a son in South Dakota. And the woman, that he had been with was with this guy who had numerous counts against him, and
Like for child abuse and stuff.
oh
or-
yeah, domestic violence on all levels. And so he was taken to jail because the kid was unresponsive when they showed up. They put him on life support and then took him off or harvested the organs.
Yeah.
Did all of
And
that.
and he played the next day, which he
Right.
got. He got some grief for it.
He did.
People gave him shit,
But then again, they need to shut the fuck up and think
He
about
needs
Brett
to-
Favre because
Of his
Favre
dad.
and his dad.
But
and
also,
blah, blah,
Adrian
blah.
Peterson needs to grieve and if the best
right.
thing for him is
Right.
to like move forward and
That's
play and then
never judge someone
Are you
else's
kidding?
grief.
Yeah.
never,
Absolutely.
absolutely not. Everybody goes through their shit in their own very special way.
But-
super
So as
sad.
long as we're going to talk
really
about something
was. Yeah.
tragic from a
Yeah.
different way, the man walking across the country in honor of his bullied son, who had committed suicide earlier this year, was accidentally killed by a semi truck
stop.
Oh
in
my
Colorado
God.
Wednesday morning. 15-year-old Jaden Bell from LeGrand, Oregon, took his own life this February. Then another tragic teen victim of anti-gay bullying. However, out of that tragedy, Jaden's father started a journey to raise awareness and promote anti-bullying programs. It was a healing process, but in a heartbreaking twist, Joe was hit by a semi-truck on Highway 40 near the town of Kit Carson and was pronounced dead on the scene.
Holy shit.
Can any
Come on.
story
what's
get
the
any
what's the boy's
And
name?
where's
Jaden
the-
what?
Jaden, Jadin Bell from LeGrand, Oregon.
And where's the mom in all this?
Um,
Obviously in Oregon, perhaps, but I mean, really? Can you imagine the mom?
Well, she was-
just loses her son.
She wasn't by any odd chance in a I'm gonna say a chase car or a car with him, and like she didn't witness this, did she?
Unbelievable.
No, but are you ready for this one? Before his journey was cut short, Joe had hoped to be the first person to walk across the country with 2 artificial knees. He had undergone back surgery and double knee replacement surgery back in 2010. They tell me you can't do that, Bell said at the time. I can only put it in God's hands.
Okay, so anybody
most
at this
depressing
table
story.
wants to bitch about something?
Yeah.
Think twice, please, because right now I'd look at you and be like, shut the fuck
up.
Right?
You got both your
And like,
knees.
what
Tyler-
a good-looking guy, like a good, wholesome dad who was just like, I'm so sad, I love my son,
And Tyler asked, and I had it on my list, but I wasn't sure when to bring it up. But as long as she was going to bring us down with
Sure,
a dead kid, I
sure.
thought I'd top her with a dead dad.
Well,
That's really,
And
really
you did.
sad.
Yeah. I the other night at work I read that and I was already crying from glee. And I
Sure.
read like the saddest story and the people are like, "Are you okay?"
Wow.
No, he's dead.
Well,
Okay.
Thoughtful
Well, let's
vulgarity
move on to
just
this next
happened.
section. We
Yeah.
got a few minutes left on our show. Our final segment of each and every show is called Thoughtful Vulgarity, and it goes something like this.
Now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
It's on the door. Let's just say this as long as we're on like semi-sad topics. This one's not sad, but you can make it that way. Marnie Ryer.
Oh, yes.
We've heard
wow,
of her.
and
May Lynn.
correct.
Yeah. What are you holding on to that you need to let go of besides that phone?
You know what's weird that you actually had this question today? That's so weird. Go ahead.
Oh gosh.
I'm not going first, by the way, though.
No, Marnie.
No, I always am.
No, I always.
No, I just don't want you to think I was ready out of the gate to go for this. Is what I was.
God, probably lots of things. I mean, really.
The chili cook-off?
1993? 4? What is it?
1993, 2003.
2003. I knew there was a 3. A trace.
2004, 2003.
Just throw them both in there for good measure.
Whatever.
2 straight years of chili cook-offs. Piss me off.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. I guess I would have to say the one thing that I would love to just let go of. Love to just let go of. And so anyone who's out there that's all like, just let go of it then. Fuck right
off. Yeah,
off.
fuck off, yeah.
Would be anything and everything, minus the kids, I will always say that had to do with my relationship before Aaron, 8 years before Aaron, but with the other name that's mine that won't be mentioned.
Okay.
But to be able to just let all of that go and just be like, whatever, it's done. And as much as I think I try to do well at that, I don't succeed even kind of. Not even kind of.
That's why you're holding on to it.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it could be the littlest thing. I hear something or someone does something and I'm automatically like hypersensitive to it, and that's annoying. That's annoying. So I wish I could let that go for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. I'll work on that.
Do.
Start.
Let's talk about this again next week.
Get back to us
We'll
on
leave
this
it
one.
off here. Yeah,
I will.
we'll stop here.
Okay. I'll just leave it right here. Thanks.
I
Katie?
don't know. That's such a lame
Where
answer.
do I begin?
Yeah, I know.
to tell the story.
No, I really don't. I don't think I don't think
Cape Cod, picture
Nantucket specifically. But honestly, I don't want to let that go. Really, it was wonderful time. It was a debaucherous time, but it really was fucking awesome.
But the thing is,
I mean,
it
let's get
about
real.
letting it go to where it doesn't mean that it...
No, that's what
It's
I'm
not
saying.
hindering you.
I know.
It's not right.
No, it's not at all.
No.
I jest.
Appreciate the jest. Wham in China.
I'll tell you, I don't think I have. I'm not really like a long-term grudge holder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like I don't.
2 different worlds. 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just am not.
I can, yeah.
I'm not. I don't. I get over stuff really easily. Like when my brother was kind of going through some of his struggles with addiction, and it was really affecting our family. And I literally, in that moment, I thought I will never love him again like I used to. And we're like better than ever now. We're like totally back on board and literally probably closer than we had been in so many years. I just don't. But here's what I do is I don't hold on to things long term, but I hold on to them too long at home. Like if Kelly and I get into an argument that's trivial and stupid and we just are annoyed or whatever, and we just argue. Kelly gets over it right away, and she's like, let's just move forward. And I can't do that. I need like at least a couple of hours to like decompress or move forward. So I don't.
Well, I would even say a couple hours is a small amount of time. I'm going on years of holding shit.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't hold grudges. People that have wronged me or people that I have wronged, I'm over all of those things. I hope that they are in the same way, and I just move forward naturally. But the little things at home I could work on.
Yeah.
Getting over. You know, sometimes I'm a little bit too sensitive at home.
And when you live with Kelly wants to talk about it right away?
All the time. Right
and
away.
You don't?
No. Like if we
seriously, Kelly, I need to go and have drinks.
Yes, if
That's
we
all.
get into like even like the stupidest argument, or she says something and I'm like, that's really rude, and she'll go, well, da da da, and then she's like, come on, babe, really,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, I'm not ready, and I literally will tell her that I'm not ready. I'm like, I need.
Does she do this
you do the-
like this? You're like, don't touch me. I'm not touching you.
Yes,
I'm not touching you.
sometimes. And my thing is like I always go into the back room. That's where my closet is, and I like will immediately go back and like start like putting away clothes or reorganizing stuff. That's just like my thing. And I'll go and like I just need to like clean something. And she always, and I close the door. It's my sign. Leave me alone until I'm ready. And she every fucking time she comes in the room and she's like, babe, and I'm like, I'm just out now. And I like can't look, at her. I'm like, I need 5 minutes. And in an hour or 2 hours, I'm fine. But
And then
an
is
hour.
she fine after that hour or two, or is she
It
a little
depends,
more
'cause
distant?
sometimes-
and then you're upset because she's a little more distant.
I guess sometimes she's like,
God,
no.
it's a circle.
I was
Really
ready.
vicious.
I was ready to
that
make
is the
up.
circle of lesbians.
I was ready to make up an
Elton
hour ago,
John
and I'm like,
sang
well,
about it.
I wasn't, babe, but I'm ready now. I mean, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
nothing life
No,
changing.
it's not.
That I need to let go of.
You would think at the time, but no.
So
you're
silly,
right.
yeah. Anyway,
And I think
lesbians.
I think it's hard with family.
Wham in China.
Wham in China. I think it's hard with relationships and with family, long-term friends, because you can just start the fight where the last one let off.
Yeah.
And plus, you know exactly where to strike.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
Oh, yeah.
exactly what button to push, and you know how to
Right.
escalate this up to DEFCON 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
That's a
I'm
good
pissed-
point.
I'm pissed off, and I want you as mad
As you can be.
as I am.
Sometimes.
So I'm going to bring up your weight as a child, and you know what I mean?
Right. Remember that night you went to prom and left me home?
We're
You're
going to go over
shipmate.
bedwetting, acne. I'm going to bring it
Oh my
all
God,
up. I'm going to
you're
stir it till it's hot.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm going to tell Mom about that
then
night.
and then I'll walk away and be like, well, I'm done. You're mad.
Yeah.
You're as miserable as I am now. I'm good. I'm going to leave.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I do that.
That's horrible.
Oh, and of course, that's another thing that you do to piss them off more is you just act like you're completely fine,
like
and
you
they
don't
get
care.
angry, and then makes you more mad because if you were in an argument with me and you got mad at me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go outside now.
I feel good
And then-
about this.
Then you just go.
Okay, wait, but you are saying you hold on to stuff.
Oh, I will hold on. Like I will buy more storage cabinets to hold the shit that I want to hold against you.
To hold the luggage that you need to travel with.
However, I you know, it's just an age thing. You get older with things. Oddly, I've just started coming to this realization recently. I've always been a person, I like to be organized and clean with a lot of things, but I realize I have a lot of file cabinets with a lot of shit in them that needs to go away. Partially because in this modern day age of scanning, okay, I'm saving this printed out joke thing that's from 1984 that I could just scan and have it forever. I don't need to keep the paper.
Right.
So I've hold on to some of those things. I need to purge a lot of that out.
You want tactile proof.
Right, yeah. But I can scan it. That's fine. I don't need, I just want to see, I just want to not forget that joke or forget whatever that was. But, and maybe this is overanalyzing it a little too much, which I do tend to do, being the Virgo that I am. Because I always used to joke about, I'm Virgo and I'm gay, so I'm screwed. I want to analyze everything over and over and over. I joke about, you know, things like...
was that the argument part? I'm sorry. My mic was off.
I always joke about, you know, I mean, I've been single forever, but I never thought, I thought it was bullshit when people say if you hold on to something too long or if you keep it around, it keeps reminding you of a situation. So that's why I have, like, that entire box that was Danny and I's relationship, you know, that's gone. I finally got rid of all that shit that was there. You know, little things that were reminders, not good things. Like there was some beaded necklace thing that he brought me from Hawaii, which that's fine. But like anything that, like every note, every receipt, everything that I ever had from anything that we ever did, I don't need all that shit anymore.
Right.
So I'm trying to release and get all of that out of
A purging fire.
out of my way, out of my house, out of my. So I'm not stumbling across that box every few months, and then that still is in my head. I'm trying to let all of that, just release all of that, and also clean out a lot of stuff. My mom's a very good example of that. My mom,
She is so good at that.
She is. She cleans out, like, literally every 6 months. She goes through and she purges everything out of her house. Every closet, every drawer. I mean, and we've joked about it, but, you know, when the day comes I have to go take care of her house, it's going to be like, well, just pack this up because this is just going to move. Because there's nothing.
Put the microwave in a bag, we're out of here.
Yeah, I'm not going to, there will be none of that. I will have to go, like when we went back at my mom's parents, you know, we had a whole fucking house to go through of stuff. Yeah. But I think that's one of the things that I'm learning as I've gotten a little older is I don't need to hold on to all those things. I can just I don't need to have the hope chest or the box or whatever the hell it is to keep all that shit in. I don't need to hold on to that. I think that's a part of me releasing that to move on, to find to let something new come in.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm.
And I know that kind of sounds odd coming from me because I'm very analytical about things like that.
No, that makes sense.
But I just started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
Smart.
I'm wondering if I'm holding on to something and I don't realize it. That's my block. I don't realize.
It's the secret.
Oh, fuck you in that secret. Wham in China.
Yeah, that is Wham in China. They were better dancers in that book.
Al?
What about you, fine sir?
It used to be two relationships that kind of like fucked me over mentally that I just could not see to the other side of. Like, you know, no matter how long ago they were, there was two that I'm like, I can't get past this. You know, there's a Deborah Cox song.
No one's supposed to be here.
Name that.
Gotta
tune,
get
Katie.
through this. Although I don't think that's Deborah Cox. But I like.
It's the other one besides Nobody's Supposed to Be Here. Anyways, I'll
Nobody's supposed to be here.
I'm Googling.
I don't know if
Tell
that's
the
how it
story.
goes.
Okay.
Is it called Get the Fuck Out of My Life?
It should be. It's like you're not the same person
I'm gonna
or
slit
something
your
like that.
throat, you fucking
so anyways,
whore,
but
something?
I really did eventually just kind of. Oh yeah,
That's
sure.
your song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things just ain't
You wrote that?
Oh, did I say that out
House
loud?
is not a home. Things just ain't the same.
Things just ain't
Oh
the
my
same.
god, a house is not a home.
Things just ain't
But
the same.
that's a big song with me, but not by her. But things just ain't the same. Like I remember the first, like I dated someone briefly after one of the breakups, and that's all I could think of. Like, you're not him. Like, you're all these different things, but you're not him, and clearly I have nothing to offer because I'm just missing him.
Right.
Like, and that took a while, you know, many years to get over both of those, and I carried one into the second one, and it was just a train wreck of fucked upness. Finally let those go a few years back. Like, it was like, you know what, we can put both of these to bed. Partially my fault, partially their fault, partially the universe's fault. Like, everybody gets a little piece of the blame. Moved on. Don't even care. Anybody I date now just has to deal with my fucked upness. There's no one else getting in the bed with us, if you know what I mean. But really the thing that it's been 3.5 years now is when they eliminated my department at work and put us on a job search. And I have to tell you, that was the worst handled thing I have ever been through. And I am still, like, you just get me started on the topic. And I get so angry at the management, the hospital, that everybody that did that just fucked us over and left us without work with no warning. And we're like, yeah, you can apply for jobs in the hospital if you want to. And I'm like, what? Yeah. And I'd only been there a few years, so it didn't matter. But there are people that were there since the 70s that they were telling, like, yeah.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah, and
don't let the door hit you in the
and
ass.
quite a few people ended
Here's a
up
parting gift.
without jobs. Yeah.
Parting bag.
Like they thought the other departments were not like all that excited to absorb us in. I got lucky and I got a job I got hired at Mayo, but I didn't take it because the department that I really wanted to work in for like a while, like welcomed me in. They were like, we'll take you, but I was the only person from night shift that they took. Wow. There was only one person from the olive night shift that got taken in, and it was just so poorly handled from every possible angle.
How much advance notice were you all given?
Oh, we were told at 10 o'clock the night before that we had a meeting in the morning that we couldn't miss, and in the morning they were like, yeah, your department's gone.
Wow, that is. Whoa.
What was the department? I'm just so curious.
It was just another
notification and alerts.
Yeah.
Human resources.
Yes. Proactive thinking department is now closed.
So it was so poorly handled. And a couple weeks prior, I had spoken to our director, and I was like, what the fuck is the point to our department? Like, what are we? Like, are we gonna get absorbed into like this department or that department? Like, there's no point to us here. We're all alone on this floor. Nobody knows who we are. We can't explain to anybody what we're doing. Like, oh no, everything's fine. I talked to, and I was like, fucking cunt liar. And then the main cunt that She was like over us. She was just an awful person. And seriously, it still comes up because everyone still talks about it, that they eliminated a department.
And how fresh is this wound?
3.5 years.
3.5 years ago?
Yeah. And so one of my specialties is actually under the direction of the cunt that just handled it so badly. And so I have to see her all the time. And I'm like I had to interview with her to get like my job. And they were like, talk about a situation that you were uncomfortable with and how did you resolve it? I'm like, well, I didn't stab you in the neck, so I think
Did you
I'm
bring
good.
that up?
No. But I looked at her and I'm like,
obviously you didn't say that.
No, but I actually said, I'm sure you know the one that I'm thinking of, but I'm not going to talk about that because why bring that up? Like, because I was just going to be honest. Like, you hate me and I hate you.
Wow.
Because during the meeting where they fired us, I was like, you three bitches in front. I didn't say bitches. I probably said you three people and said it in the most condescending way, like they were dogs. I'm like, I wouldn't work for the three of you again if you were the only job on planet Earth. I mean, I was like screaming and swearing at them. I'm like, this is bullshit. And I was like, not for me, but for the people that have been here for 20, 30 years that are sitting here and you're telling them you're unemployed.
Gosh, how awful.
Yeah, it was awful. Still angry.
Apparently, because you can completely hear it in his voice.
I can give you a storage cubicle if you'd like to put that in. I have extras.
I have to work past it because I like my job. I like the people I work with. So it obviously worked out the right way, but I still can't get over how shitty they were in talking to us and treating us and corralling us into this little room like we were sheep.
Every time that I would hear tomorrow morning we have a meeting at 8, I'd be like, you fuck right off. I am not going. You cannot make me.
Any conversation that starts with, we need to talk.
Nope. No,
I'm
I
out.
don't want to. La la la.
I'm
la,
out. Fuck you, Paula. I'm out.
You go, no, I quit.
That's right.
But I just wanted to
you
know
can't make
if
me.
you could come to lunch on Friday.
Yeah.
Do you like this? Does these scrubs make my ass?
But
like
it did
that?
put those breakups into perspective. It's like, well.
Yeah.
That just didn't work.
Right.
You know.
And I would hold on to the
You're
others.
sober. You're sober. I'm drunk. Two different worlds. Never.
Two different things. Two different things.
The twain shall never meet.
We had a meeting at a job that I worked at where they did that. They said it was a Friday and they went, everyone be prepared. Where they sent out a message. They said, we're going to do 2. And I just was it was my very first time ever. I was totally naive to the way that work worked. Sure. And they're like, we're going to do 2 meetings on Friday. And we're having group A is going to be off-site and group B is going to be in the office.
Didn't that happen to Buddy early?
Yes, it did.
You're right.
Oh yeah, that's
and we
what
told
happened.
him to take his Nutter Butters with him.
And they,
yeah,
because everybody got it. He was like the last person at the desk.
Right.
Yeah, and they literally said we're doing 2 offsite meetings, but group B, you guys are going to do your offsite meeting on Monday next week.
Yeah.
So just come to the office on Friday like normal.
And leave your keys.
Yeah, and we all got in the group B, of which I was a part, got into the office and they called us. It wasn't even like the CEO was with all the happy people that were like, you get to keep your jobs. And they put some like poor secretary Schmuckatelli.
She's in charge of the shooters.
Yes. It was honestly like a secretary. And she's like, called us into the conference room. She's like, you all no longer work here.
And my friend.
But I had been there for a year.
her
I didn't, and
do
I
that.
was actively searching for a new job every day.
But my friend Justin, he still works for a pharmaceutical company. I think he changed companies at some point. But he works in a big office with all these IT guys, and as your IT needs get less and less because you don't need that many people running computers, you can do it all from one desk.
Right.
Every day he worked with less and less people, and then finally like, surprise, you're in charge of your department. And he's like, I'm all alone.
I'm the department.
I'm on an
So
island.
I'm also the number one worker, the chief, the Indian,
All
the
that.
Can
squaw,
I give
like-
myself awards
Right.
at the end of most improved?
Most improved, least improved.
I'm still here.
Best boss of the year.
work.
Boss number
Needs
1.
work.
Thank you for
Light 'em
listening. It's the show. We've been here all 3 hours. We're here every Tuesday, 7 to 10. I'm with Katie, Marnie, Al. My name is Clayton McKee. Thank you for being with us. We'll be here next week, too. Do join us if you will. In the chat room, let us know where you are, what you're doing. But we will leave you with this final thought. We will see you next Tuesday.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.